It's been such a long time since Boston led the way. It's more than a feeling. It's Mike and Tom to start the day. The heart of Massachusetts should be freedom, justice, and liberty. Freedom led pilgrims to Plymouth Bay. Salem trials had justice too late. The sons of liberty spilled the tea, and then the redcoats spilled their blood. The shot heard around the world rang out from the Bay State. Boston strong and ready to defend. It's where revolution started and ends. It's been such a long time since Boston led the way. It's more than a feeling. It's Mike and Tom to start the day. Quincy Market, Freedom Trail, Charles River, Boston Harbor, Bunker Hill, Griffin Wharf, Fenway Park, Old North Charge. It's been such a long time since Boston led the way. It's more than a feeling. It's Mike and Tom to start the day.
Boom.
Boom.
Imagine that.
What'd you do? Make it in
That
and out of
song. I love that song, dude.
I know. What'd you do? Make it in and out of the store during the opening?
Of course I did.
I saw you run. I saw you running. That's funny. So what's going on?
We're going to head to a standout today and say hi to some nice people.
Oh, a Friday standout. No, this wasn't on the KarenReedStandouts.com, was it? Or no?
I don't know. It was on the Justice page. I know that.
Okay. Cool.
They were here last weekend, too. They did a real good job last weekend.
It's a Friday afternoon, and they're out there doing it. I mean, I love it.
Yeah. Oh, everybody's here.
Everybody's here.
Everybody Toots is here.
Oh, look at the chat lit up, man. Whoa.
Yeah, I'm at Mrs. Reed's here.
Oh!
Shelby's here with us.
Hey, Shelby. I mean, I haven't been on in a while. I haven't been on in a while, it feels like. Oh. Well, I'm back, wherever that might be. So, you're heading to Whitman, you said?
Yeah.
And it's right down the street from your house, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Where they're doing it is like the perfect location, too. It's a really busy intersection.
All right. So if you have some time out there, people, you're in the Whitman, I don't know exactly in Whitman, but Tom can probably tell.
1827.
1827, what, Main Street?
Both the intersection of Route 18 and Route 27.
I know exactly where it is. Okay, yeah.
Right there.
So if you're down in that neighborhood, stop in, at least give us a beep, all right? And a thumbs up. All right? Yeah, please. We could appreciate it, man.
And there's a lot of, from what I'm hearing last week, there was a lot of people beeping. So it's not like we don't know what's going on, right?
Right. No Canton salutes. Just a lot of beeping.
No, it's the beep to bird ratio. That's what we call it.
I know what I meant to tell you. Hey, you know how down in Taunton they had that Taunton Green area where everybody stands out?
Yeah.
Some douchebag rode their car through there and tore it all up.
Inside the green?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Huh. Why'd they be doing that? What did the Taunton Green do to them?
Back in high school when you did stupid shit. That's what
I'm still doing that.
I know. Well, I just think it was probably a couple of kids. I don't know, but they tore it up. So that sucks.
Yeah.
Anyways, I just thought I'd tell you that.
Wow.
So
do you think they'll get video footage of that?
There's pictures. I saw it online. I think it was the Taunton Gazette that had it out there on there. They had a couple of pictures of people doing donuts. It was like donuts, cut the grass and stuff. Because I know that's such an awesome place to go to anyways. And it was great for standouts. I mean, it won't have an effect on the standout, but it just sucks that someone would drive on there and do that stat. But,
I've seen they put a lot of work into that, Mike.
I know. I've seen back in my day that the night before a game,
Yeah.
the high school game is something, people have gone on to the opposing teams and done it, and it's just not right. I mean, tore it up. I mean, you couldn't even play the game sometimes. It was crazy back then.
Yeah.
Back in the 80s. Back in the 80s.
You can get away with certain stuff back then, man.
Yeah, it was a lot different back then, Tom. I'm going to tell you, there was no cameras, right?
Yeah, so thank God, right?
My goodness. I don't think we'd be talking right now if there was.
All right, Elaine, that I think is moved to Whitman. That's where I am right now.
Scott McGinnis in the house.
There he go. Good for him. He's freaking there. He is. What's up, buddy?
You know, buddy.
He's always there.
He was there. Was it yesterday for Turtle Boys thing? Was it yesterday?
Yes.
Yeah. How did we miss that, Tom? How did we miss that?
There's so much, so quick, so much that's coming down the pipe, Mike.
But that's literally 5 minutes from 3 minutes from my house.
And it's funny because someone just made a spreadsheet that has all of the court dates on it now. So all the court dates are going to be like in one spot now.
Well, it'd be great if whoever makes a spreadsheet, the Excel or whatever it might be, maybe puts a contact number in there. If you want, if they want to, I'm saying if there's an organizer with an email address in there, or just redirects you to the Karen Reed site, whatever. I'm just thinking drill down a little bit more on it, so you can get more information. If they need signs, bring water, someone have a special request. Now, you mentioned something about December 8th down at the Start Driving, so that was pretty interesting. Yeah, you want to talk about that, or maybe they put that in the ice right for now? You want to talk about it?
But
too late.
Maybe we wait a couple more days.
All right.
There's one thing I'm trying to fix on that. Yeah.
I don't want to put the cart before the horse.
Okay. No, you gotta talk to Santa.
I like I love the idea though.
Yeah.
I love the idea. And you know what? If there's a bunch of picnic tables that we can put together and people can break bread together down there and talk and stuff, you know what I mean?
That Start Driving is the place to do that. It really is.
Yeah. It's literally right off the highway. Was it 140? I forget.
Yeah, right off of 140.
If you're coming from the north, where I would come from, if you get off 140, you literally take a left, and it's right there on your right. Literally right there.
And the food is incredible.
So anyways, I told you we have relatives that live in Lakeville, and my mother-in-law is like, stop and get me a clam cake. I'm like, what? As driving? Yep. And she's yes. Stop and get me a clam cake. I'm like, oh, I did. I was like, but I couldn't believe they actually get the freshest seafood you can probably get around. I was like, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So the company that goes out and gets the seafood, they go out and harvest it on their way into Boston. I don't know how she did it, but she has them stop by, so she gets it first. She gets first crack at, like, her stuff is she's the first stop.
So when she puts it into the frying pan, it's still flipping.
Yes. Yeah. and the food, what a difference it makes. My God, Mike. Wow.
Oh yeah. Fresh seafood. Hold on, I let my dog do.
Yeah.
What's up?
You want it in here?
Yeah, you let me in here.
You sure?
Yeah.
I have to run back out.
All right.
Okay.
Oh, you run back out?
Yeah.
Hey, Dave, thank you for that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's funny. We had this discussion this morning about getting back to Karen Reed.
Yeah. Right.
There's a lot of stuff out there, right?
A lot of things happen.
We got Jim Farris and Jill Daniels added to the docket now. We're going to be adding Kate pretty soon and her misdoings, right? All the people that are involved with Kate, they're all going to go with her. That's conspiracy there, man.
This is getting crazy, dude.
It is.
Like I didn't realize how interwoven the turtle, literally the turtle boy, the police.
How you doing, guys?
It's like
5.
It's like this. It's crazy.
Yeah,
It's like I can't actually
Mike,
wrap my brain around this, that they would actually use that type of person for a source.
Mike. They
Now,
freaking
any
went to the grand jury and they didn't get an indictment.
I know.
Like, because it never happened.
As far as I know, you can invite a ham sandwich,
I mean,
and
that must have been some really thin information.
well, I'm happy that the grand jury saw it for what it was, obviously, because
Right.
they took their phones, right? They actually I didn't know this, but they took their phones. They went through their bank accounts, Mr. Reed's,
Oh
Nathan
yeah,
Reed's,
yeah.
and they did a deep dive. I mean, they were looking for anything.
Remember that? Yeah,
Yep.
because they were accusing him of being paid. Remember that?
That's right, sir. That
They
is right, sir.
they said that Karen's family or Karen bought the vehicle that
Yeah.
he's driving now.
Yep.
That's
Yep.
ridiculous.
Yep. I was, and to do a deep dive like that, to get an accountant, so to speak, for the MSP to go and do all that work and pull the records and look at it just blows my mind how much they wanted him. They wanted it so bad that they were willing to lie in some instances. And I mean, for Tully to lie or bend the truth, whatever you want to say, and use those people as sources that obviously have a grudge against Aiden Turtle Boy.
Yep.
They would even cross the line, in my opinion, because they already have a track record of doing so. I mean, these people aren't citizens. They're not, they're not citizens.
No.
So how do you stake a claim like that and put somebody back in jail and accuse them of conspiring to intimidate witnesses with people like that? Wow.
When he's doing his job and they have a problem with that the problem isn't with Aiden. The problem's with them.
Yeah.
I mean, as far as I know, he's allowed to do everything he did.
Yes.
And as far as I know, the rules that follow confidential informants, right? Those rules are pretty set in stone. And if he didn't follow those rules, there's just no excuse. Mike, how much effort went into getting Aiden? Now look at how much effort went into to John O'Keefe.
I know. They put more effort in trying to get Aiden than trying to figure out who murdered John O'Keefe.
Yep.
They put
and
more
Sandra
effort.
Birchmore.
Yes.
Same with that.
And more effort and time and people with rubber ducks. That is shameful.
Mike, think of the stuff we don't know that's going on.
I know.
The phone calls that we're not getting, that we're not hearing about,
Yeah. Are you at the standout? Where are you?
But
You there?
Wait, I mean, 2 people showed up already. 3 people.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you were sitting at a light. All right, man. All right. So Scott McGinnis is right in the chat. Jill Daniels, Stoughton, District Court, 10/18. And that might
so many court dates, man.
Yeah, but you had Justin Root too that same day, I believe, the 18th. In I think it's 18th. Let me double check. In Brookline, for all you people that want to support Justin Root, which is a good cause. Well, Sean the Golf's okay, everybody. If everybody's wondering, he made it.
Yeah, he made it through the storm pretty good, huh?
All right, yeah. So upcoming dates. Here we go. Scott McGinnis, Stoughton District Court, Jill Daniels, Richard Schiffler, the duck dude.
Yeah, the duck guy.
That's the Stoughton, just October 23rd for that one. Kate Peters is 10:50. I don't know what court in Stoughton. Okay. Oh, okay. So yeah, we had a lot of action going on in that week. It looks like.
Yeah.
So,
And
anyways,
again, right? It's a lot of other stuff that's not Karen Reed, right?
no, you know, it is and it isn't. It's like it's fucking
It's
crazy,
connected,
dude.
but it's not direct.
Right. It's indirect. It's indirect, but it all is the same players, man.
Yep.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Yep. Maybe one of the mods can put in the Justin Root standout, okay? On the that's gonna be
Oh,
held in
Mike,
Brookline. Yeah.
did that get drawn last night? The Karen Reed dinner?
I don't know who won, but yeah, yesterday was the last day to sign in. I remember they had like when I looked at it, they had a half an hour left before you can enter. So I know you're entered, right?
Trying to read the chat to see if anyone knows who won.
Wouldn't that be funny, man?
Yeah.
That'd be a good time. I want a couple all right. So in the chat, what kind of questions would you ask?
Yeah.
What would you?
We didn't even
want to
start
know?
with that, Mike. Like really?
Right? Because you get Yannetti and you get Karen. So what do you have, a little car dealership?
And you get David Giannetti.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Like you got like
Yeah. Two for
you
one
get both
there.
sides. That's a good combo, man. That's a good combo. I'd like to see that happen. I hope you win, bro. I wonder if you could go live. That'd be great. So you just getting set up there, it looks like?
Yeah, it's still early too.
All right, man.
But this is the perfect spot.
Wow, there is a lot of traffic there.
Yep. And they all stop right here.
Wow, you're right. You're right, man.
Yep.
Yeah, so there was an article in the Herald today about Morrissey, obviously.
Really?
About some people that are going to run against them in 2026. So that's good. We get
any decent candidates that we know of? Anyone?
there's a female. I forget her name. I apologize, but who's had experience as an attorney. That she's already in. There's a picture of her in the Herald. She's only raised like $20,000 so far. Mr. Morrissey has $500,000 war chest.
Yeah, but again, he can have all the money in the world. He can't fix he can't fix it.
Oh yeah, that's what my wife and I were talking about. We're like, I don't care how much money this guy Morrissey has. The support from the standouts alone are just gonna crush it, man. Hey, Tommy, are these some of the people that we haven't seen before, or are these people that have been to standouts before?
Few of a few new guys.
Well, that's good, man.
But
that's good.
This guy here is kind of curious.
Childhood. They grew up in how we never all weren't sure. Not only that, but the experts have come out and said there was no car. He was never hit by a car. That's the DA.
Now the kid from Avon went in the well. They told the cops to go look in the well. They never did.
No, the one where they came and got him fixed his car.
Oh, I remember that. That was in Canton. They kidnapped somebody and they murdered him, right?
Yeah, they pretended they were police.
Yeah.
But I thought Morrissey was involved with that.
Yeah, he was in a way.
He's involved. Yeah. He's involved in that. Sandra Birchmore. Guy. One word.
No.
But I'm not an expert on it. I just want to hear. Oh, none of us are experts. So should be walking free right now.
Is Scott against that?
You could happen to me. Could happen to you too.
Wow. Wow. That's awesome, man.
Yeah, he was looking from across the street, looking at the signs, watching us.
No
So
kidding.
then he
That
just
guy
come
came.
yeah, then he came over and started talking to us.
He wanted to know what was going on.
Yep. He knew
And that's
something
what it's
about
all.
it. Obviously,
Yeah.
he followed the case. He started mentioning how the phones were taken and removed and destroyed when they had a protection order on them.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. Yeah, there was some bullshit going around at X that when they were looking into Turtle Boy and Karen, that Karen factory reset her phones and stuff. I'm like, come on, man.
Yeah, no.
Scott's not there. Okay, cool. I thought that sounded like Scott McGinnis on your speaker. I was like, oh my god, Scott McGinnis is there. That guy's everywhere.
But the second time they went to her house, okay? The second time,
Yep.
if I was her, I would have factory reset my phone before I handed it over.
No, when you do that, so the cloud goes away too and everything, or no?
No.
Okay, that's what I
Just the
thought.
device. Device goes back to the day you bought it.
So, but
That's
the clouds, yeah. Because if you want to transfer phone to phone, right? You factory reset your phone, you go into Verizon or whatever, they pull everything from a cloud.
Yes, that's why you need a Gmail address or a Verizon address to send stuff up and then send it back down.
All right, man. Yep.
Oh, look at this one. This is an old one. What is it?
What do you got? Oh yeah, huh?
Caddy. Is that a caddy?
That's a nice car. Yeah, it looks like a
Cadillac. That's a caddy.
Is that
That's
a tuna
cruising
boat?
vessel. Huh?
Is that a tuna boat?
Yep.
Wow.
Oh, a big old speedometer goes from one side to the other.
Remember the suicide doors? What was it on the Lincolns?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, man. Oh, that's gorgeous, dude. What year is that thing? Like that's gonna be in the 60s.
I don't know. What year is that? 61.
Yeah. Sweet. Wow.
Yeah, beautiful, man. Find me the medal for that car.
Imagine, look at the chrome on that thing. You don't see chrome in cars like that anymore.
Look at that, man.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny.
Wow.
Nice. It's the same when they do bike runs through here, Mike. It's just like all the way up the road that way and all the way down. You just so you can hear the bikes.
The motorcycles are the best. They come by like that, and they stop the intersection for them and let them go.
Yep.
That's a great idea. Get a bike run, to raise money. That'd be a great idea. There's a lot of bikes.
Poker run.
What they call a poker run? Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
That'd be a good idea. Tom, people in the chat are asking where you're at.
We are at the intersection of 18 and 27. It's Route 18. That's Route 27. Right in Whitman,
right?
Yep.
Whitman Center. Oh, Whitman.
Marcello's over there.
Yeah.
Car wash.
Okay.
Right in front of 746 Auto.
So this is an impromptu live. Tom and I were talking this morning, so we figured we'd go and do it. Pretty cool stuff, man. Nice day for it. Tomorrow's gonna be a nice day too. Yeah.
Well, they said it's gonna start getting cold, so
that's
be careful with that.
Yeah.
Oh, it's October. We did have snow a couple times, remember?
We did. You're right.
Yep.
We did. Not a lot of honking going on, Tom. Oh.
Well, there's only a few of us there, so.
All right. Are they expecting more? Are you expecting more, you think, or no?
I have no idea. Still, it doesn't start till 12.
Oh, all right.
So we're early.
I guess I want to know who put it together, who was it that just wanted to do this, those kind of things. I guess
Debbie, the young lady that over there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
How
that's
did-
Jennifer Maria.
Okay. That's cool.
She did. She was in charge of doing the standout in Hansen, and then they moved it here.
There we go.
There's a lot more visibility here at this
I can see-
intersection.
My goodness, yes.
More beep.
Wow. Wow. Holy shit, man.
If we had more
Yeah.
people, we could put them on each side of the intersection, and it's place to be like constant beeping.
Yeah.
See that side over there stopped now.
Oh yeah, it's a 4-way stop.
Yeah.
That's cool. So Brian LTL was at a standout last night. Oh, I think it was Taunton or I forget where it was. But
He was
over
somewhere,
there.
right?
Yeah, he was over the highway. I don't remember. I don't remember where he was last night, but he was there. He was there live. Yeah. So yeah, it's good. Keep them going. You got to keep the energy going, man. You got to keep it going. You know, it's in the. I'm telling you, the Boston Herald has been putting an article in every day this week. This gentleman, I think his name is Bobby Peters, on X post. He must be the first one. He gets it before me, I guess. He must have the first paper. He must have the first paper of the Herald. I don't know how he gets it, but he's always got the whatever's going on in the Herald posted.
Yeah.
You know, good, bad, or indifferent. You know, so yeah. So it's been an interesting week with the audit and the whole select board going on this week. It's oh, here we go.
No, here comes funeral.
Oh, no way. All right.
Go. Get out of the road. Go.
Oh, yeah, here they come. Yeah. It's too bad. Yeah.
News crew up there. All right. Not wearing your seatbelt, but that's okay.
Is that a guy out the sunroof right there?
Yes, it was.
What?
I wonder who this is.
Don't
Somebody
tell me.
imposed, I'll tell you that.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Well, those are some caddies right there, bro.
Yep.
Interesting. Do they have the green light to get right through? Yeah.
Yeah, the cops have got that taken care of.
Oh, yeah.
Park right there.
Oh, yeah. I remember back in the day when they had the motorcycle guys, the motorcycle guys would just cut the whole 4-way off and just let you go. And then two would leave and two would stay, and then they would just keep repeating it. Yeah.
And the ones in the back go to the front.
Yep. Those days. Yep. Wow. Look at the line of people.
Yeah. Wow, Mike.
That's not cheap.
There's a lot of people there.
Oh, wow. Wow. Look at this.
All the way up they're still coming up the top of the road.
Oh, my goodness. I wonder.
Yeah, they're still coming.
Wow, man. Oh, God bless them.
Still coming. They still got their flashes on. I still see flashes all the way down the road.
Oh, my gosh. Wow. Moment of silence.
Yeah.
Holy
They're coming, Mike.
Holy shit, dude.
Yeah. At the funeral, isn't it?
That's a biggie. Wow.
Still coming, bud. Still coming.
Are you kidding
This
me?
yum here is freaking cutting traffic. Can't be doing that.
This yum.
Still coming down the hill.
Yeah.
And people are still cutting traffic out. Man, they don't even realize what the blinking.
Wow, man.
Still coming, Mike.
Holy shit. I think that's one of the larger ones I've ever seen. Holy shit, they're still going.
Oh yeah, that goes nice blanking.
Wow.
Imagine all these cars trying to get through the light cycle.
No, it'd be a mess.
Oh,
Be a mess. Be a mess.
not that.
Yeah. I don't think I know that many. I have to my ticket.
How you doing today, bud? Doing great. Yeah, I know, huh? I only live up the road about a minute. Yeah. No. I did live in the North Shore one time, up in Salisbury on the beach.
Yeah.
Salisbury's a nice town. Hey, so Justin Root's sister wants to come on next week.
Oh, that'd be great.
Yeah, Thursday. Okay, just kind of get the
Yeah,
Thursday
yeah, yeah.
morning. Yeah, Thursday morning next week from like 8:15 to 9 a.m. Okay, we'll figure that
Sure.
out. All right, I have to get her
That-
information.
Yeah, that's fine.
She wants you to send her your information so she can get you a T-shirt.
Oh, cool.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
that's another one we're diving into, deep dive. You know,
So many, Mike.
and it's too many. Actually, there is too many, man. It's too many. It's too many. And then that thing this morning that John Como posted and Sean the Golf with that.
Oh my
The link.
God! Did you see that?
Yeah, I mean, I'm still trying to figure all that out. Like, so this person, this retired cop, signed his property over to those two gentlemen.
Another, yeah, and they executed the warrant or something, or they went to court over
Okay.
something about that.
Yeah, it's crazy. If you get a chance, go on X. I know it's a cesspool, but and find Sean the Golf. It's probably on Facebook too. What am I talking about? But read these two court documents. It's crazy.
I haven't heard of any of those police officers either.
Joe Kelleher is one of them, and Short
Yeah.
and Shiny. Yeah.
Oh,
Yep. Well, we get a new member. Thanks, Carla.
I thought it was those two other guys that I didn't know of.
What are you talking about? What two guys?
Kara, thank you. See that?
Yeah.
Kara's a new member.
I know. Thanks for joining. Hey, Scott's coming on. All right. Please pass the pepper. Okay.
Yes. Awesome. Thank you, Scott McGinnis.
I wonder where he's at. Who knows? But what a day, man! What a nice day to stand up for a couple hours if you have time. Donna Whitman, Route 18. Let's go. Let's go.
There we go.
You're back.
I lost my audio.
Yeah, that's all right. No one's beeping. We need some. Oh, there's somebody crossing the road.
Yep, with a sign, big old sign.
Oh, a couple more people. Well, they're not wearing sweaters and stuff. They're in short sleeve shirts and stuff. So
Yeah,
that's
I mean
good.
it's nice out.
All right. It's cool. All right. Yeah,
Hi, Mike.
tell
see
me
the
alive.
shirt?
What the duck? That's crazy. That is crazy. I love it.
All this time to investigate freaking rubber ducks. I mean,
if you're getting a new fence, you guys know where to buy it. Canton Fence, okay?
How much do you think it costs to investigate that, Mike?
All right, so they started in October. Oh man, 300,000 probably. $200,000. Easy.
And they can't like do anything that benefits the citizens.
Oh, Meredith this morning or yesterday posted
All right.
Jim Ferris ripping a butt and throwing it down.
Littering,
And,
right?
yeah, it was so funny. I posted. I go, I think it's a needle. I thought it looks like a needle.
Yeah, hypodermic.
Yeah.
That'll be a meme pretty soon, right?
Imagine if that place turned into like Mass and Cass. Oh God.
Well, it's not a bad idea. Free
That'd be
ride
fun. I know.
from Madison Cass to Canton Center. I
Right?
hear it's warmer in Canton.
Well, they can take the tea.
Sure.
They can take the tea.
Did you imagine that all the Madison Cass people hanging around Canton?
No.
That wouldn't last.
Yeah, well, there was another shooting last weekend, right? In Canton, right?
Yeah.
Another domestic violence. Yeah, I think did somebody die? I think someone passed away. I know he was. The one that got
shot.
Yeah. Nothing. Tom, can I say this? Nothing in the paper yesterday or Wednesday. Not a thing.
How is that possible, Mike? It's news.
I feel like this, and this is just my opinion. I feel like the Canton Citizen gets bullied if people, the townies in the town, because they own businesses, say that if you run negative articles about X, Y, or Z, we're going to pull our advertising. Honestly,
well, we already know what they do to Colleen and her business, right?
Oh man, did she get up and say it again on the audit meeting? And thank you, Dennis. Man.
Oh my God, Dennis, thank you again. Yep, you're right.
That was awesome. Not all heroes wear capes, man. Good job, bro. Good job, man.
Mike, there's more people coming. Second wave of funeral people.
No, there's not really. Oh yeah, you're right. There is. Holy Christ! Is the cop still there?
Nope. Cop left with the other thing.
Tom, there's going to be 200 cars, right? We got to find who that was. Sassy Bud. Hey, this.
I'm curious, Mike. There had to be someone. The state police. Yeah.
What?
Wow! Wow! What are you doing?
Can anybody Google this? What's going on for a funeral today? See what's up.
Man.
Well, at least you're getting
some traction.
You're still getting some traction. Then it looks like.
Oh, really? That's a funeral. You don't do that. Oh, come on.
Yeah, no, they're still coming down. There's still people with that orange tag. Yeah.
I wonder what funeral home it was.
They probably separated.
I don't think they probably could have got everyone out of there at the same time. I would have
had,
that's huge.
The police would be on each side, escorting them.
Yeah,
they're still coming. They're still coming down the hill.
You only saw one state trooper, right?
Yep, one trooper. That was it.
That was way too much for him to handle. Wow.
Mike, someone's got to Google that and find out. Yeah, it's someone important.
And can I say one thing? I haven't seen a shitbox car drive by yet.
No, they've all been nice cars too.
I know. It's like GMCs, Honda. Like, there's no
No. There's an Audi, there's Toyota. Yeah.
Right. Nice cars. I mean, so what is this?
Yeah.
Why is it so quiet? Like, why don't we know about this?
More funeral.
Right. Holy shit, man. All right. It's in Whitman. It was asking if you want to Google it. I don't know, man. That's pretty cool. Please pass the pepper. Says Scott's going to come on. I don't know if he has a link or not yet, but please pass the pepper. Thank you for the $1.99.
I can't even
All
see it.
right.
Thank you.
I'll read them out if they come up. I don't mind.
Yeah, the sun's hitting the screen. I can't see anything.
That's all right, bro. Someone's asking about the barbershop killer from Canton. Anybody? I don't know anything about that. Sassy bartender is asking about the barbershop
I
killer
don't know
from
anything
Canton.
about that.
All right.
The
But I
barber shop.
was speaking of Canton, and what's this stuff I'm hearing or I read about? Boozy Betty being followed and
Oh
Mazda
yeah,
Sark. Is that legit?
yeah,
Yeah, because
yeah.
you're kind of part of it too, Tom, in a way that I'm sure you were followed out of Whitman, followed out of Canton that day, right? You probably were.
Yeah. Every time I go into Canton, I bump into a certain person that just happens to kind of see where I am. It's unusual.
It is unusual.
And again, they do nothing about it, right?
Well, if you're not doing
Nothing.
anything wrong, you're not doing anything wrong, Tom. I mean, you just there's, I mean, but to have the young jerks be overheard and everything written down that he said is fucking scary.
Oh yeah. So
You know.
again, right? How that one lady that's obsessed with Aiden, right? Everything he does is micromanaged and looked at and twisted and turned and all this stuff. They
Right.
do the same with us, bud. They do the same with us. If you don't think they're watching this, come on. I mean,
Yeah. They
well,
put.
I
They
was
have no.
told by somebody, I forget who it was, but um, somebody in Rhode Island that works for the FBI said, "Thank you very much because we're making certain people's jobs so much easier just by reporting and from being here. They're gathering intel from whatever it is they're looking for.
Right. Right.
But
Okay.
so it's just coming naturally, I guess. So
Okay.
they're watching us, you know.
Yeah.
And with that said, you have the other side watching us, and one
Yeah.
way or the other, right?
I can tell you. I can tell you one thing though, Tom. We're not going to stop. Right.
No, absolutely not. Well, I mean
So
that goes out saying. I mean,
I
has
don't care
Aiden
what.
stopped? I mean, they put him in
No.
jail for 60 days.
So a
60
couple of
days,
weeks.
he took his
I,
freedom.
this for 60 days. It's going to cost them $1 million a day.
Before they do
Yeah, yeah,
I hope so.
yep.
I hope so. He
At least,
deserves it.
yeah.
And
I
then
mean,
the couple
they,
times that we went to court and they changed the judge and
I
blah
have to
blah
go to
blah.
my daughter's
He had all those bombshells ready to
I think
go.
it's like
Well,
the whole half weekend, so it's mostly different swimming. And I'm like, for this, quick down to where it is.
oh,
they,
everybody's got frame shirts on. Oh, cool.
yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. Hopefully it's from Microdots. Microdots has been doing a good job lately. That last video was incredible. But
Oh
I
my
guess my
God,
point,
yeah,
my last point when Bradel and Aid went to court and they changed the judge and the
yeah.
Cosgrove, and he had said, I had bombs. Well, it was worth the wait. It was definitely worth the wait to see this and to see how eloquently it was written by Mr. Betterow. It was amazing to read. I actually sat through the whole Melanie Little breakdown. She read every document, every word,
Yep.
and it was good. If you have a chance, she did an awesome breakdown of it. It's long, but it's worth it. Just throw it on and take a look. I mean, because it pertains to everything, and she is blown away at the fact that this is actually submitted to a court as a document. She can't get over. She's never in her career has seen anything like this.
Imagine that.
And I was just like, and I had to like stop for a second. She's like, I've never seen anything like this in my career. And she was pausing and looking the other way at some of the stuff that was said, just like I knew she wanted to say other things, but she was keeping it clean. But holy shit.
And,
Like I was
and
that
that investigation is just
horse
the
shit.
epitome of what not to do.
Yeah.
Really,
It was
over ducks,
horse
Mike,
shit.
ducks. They went through the
And
guy's
little,
fucking trash.
I know.
His
That was,
trash.
I know. They pulled his trash. I wonder how many other people who's got their trash pulled in Canton or
Oh,
Stoughton,
I'm sure a lot. I'm sure.
Yeah.
I mean, this is not an isolated incident. This is the one they have enough to charge him on. Some judge says, yeah, you can charge this guy.
Jesus Christ, man. Poor guy. Well, watching him last week, he seems very confident. and he signed up. His lawyer is the same lawyer that defended the guys that built Quincy Bay Marina. He's a very high-end lawyer out of Quincy, and he's well connected. So that being said, his lawyer knows a lot of the players that are trying to charge him. So he hired the best. I can tell you that. The last name was McGonigal O'Connell, whereas the people that built Marina Bay, and remember O'Connell got busted for underage.
Why do we know that name?
He built Marina Bay, and he lives next to Morrissey, and he was the one that got charged for the cocaine and the young girl.
Yes, yes.
His lawyer is the same lawyer the Canton Fence guy got. So, they all know. Yeah, they all know each other.
Well, you know how that, Mike, you know, lawyers call it's all phone call.
Yeah. So we'll fight fire with fire. Hey, Scott McGinnis, welcome aboard, bro.
Hey, Scott.
Hi, Tommy. Hi, Mike. How are you?
Buddy. I just we up at 3 a.m. watching Aussie Insider again, or are you up normal time?
No, I went to see a band last night, so my voice is a little hoarse.
Oh, what year? 80s, 90s band, or what?
70s and 80s band, cover band, yeah, of course.
Oh, I love it. What did they play?
They play Bachman Turner Overdrive to the Eagles, Boston. They play everything. They're a good band.
That's a good jam. That's a good jam right there, man.
No doubt.
Yeah, I could get into that. I could totally get into that. I love that. That era of music for me, it was a lot. It was a good rock and roll era for me, man. Like Boston, the band Boston.
Oh, definitely. There's not too many cover bands that even attempt to do Boston. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a hard band to follow. Any Aerosmith?
I don't think they do. I don't think they do Aerosmith, but they do deep dives into stuff that you wouldn't even. Van Morrison.
Oh yeah.
They're all over the map. This band. They're very talented.
Steve Miller, all those guys. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, my era of music. You know what I mean?
I saw Steve Miller at the Bank Pavilion down the city, and I was very impressed. Very impressed. Do you know he's not on one album cover, Steve Miller, because he thinks he's too ugly.
Bad self-image, physically doesn't want his picture out there.
That's what I read. I was like, and he wasn't. He's not a bad-looking guy, but I mean, I was like, oh Jesus, dude, man. So he doesn't have one picture on his album. I thought that was interesting. Well, yeah, I'm glad
Steve Miller was like a huge hit, 76, 77, like Fly Like an Eagle. And they kind of stayed successful to the very early 80s. They were a big band in their time.
If I was a guy that could put a concert venue together, I'd get 4 or 5 of those bands that kind of died out and put them back together and see if they do like a big thing at the Garden, or
they are doing that. You'll see tours of bands like that.
Really?
Oh yeah.
I gotta check that out.
But anyways, did you guys hear the details from yesterday's court date at Stoughton District?
A little bit, but go ahead.
So obviously, I was, because I have to leave so early to get down there. I was the first person there, and I'm marching with my sign and flag, and everybody started filtering in. You know what I mean? The Sweeneys, SD, Lauren. And then we learned that Jill Daniels was supposed to be arraigned yesterday along with Jim Farris. And then we find out Jill Daniels' arraignment's been postponed till this coming Friday.
Okay.
So the speculation and rumor was that, how did she get her arraignment date pushed a week? And they were saying in court that, well, she's hiding an attorney, and the attorney can't appear till next Friday. But that's BS, because Jim Farris got arraigned yesterday, and he doesn't have an attorney yet. So that excuse that she's hired an attorney was the reason she couldn't be arraigned yesterday. Does not hold water.
I agree. They'll sign you an attorney right there, or tough shit. You got to be there. It's just that's the
No,
fault.
it's 90% of arraignments. The defendant doesn't have an attorney yet. That happens every day.
Yeah, you stand up and say not guilty or guilty, and that's it.
Yeah, and then the judge will say, okay, here's your next date. In the meantime, find an attorney.
Yep.
And then if you don't have one on the next date, we're going to give you one.
Yeah, so after you plead guilty or not guilty, the next hearing is a probable cause, right?
Yeah. So
exactly.
Her absence yesterday and why that her court arraignment date got pushed a week holds no water in my book. I'm smelling something rotten in Denmark.
Hey, Scott, at this point, I would not put it past them. I would not put it past them, man.
So the rumor on the streets, and this is not confirmed in any way, is that Jill Daniels couldn't be arraigned yesterday because she's currently in rehab.
Well, that wouldn't surprise me either, because
wouldn't that be a default judgment, Scott? Like just a default? You didn't show up, and now you get a warrant?
Not if you're in rehab.
Well, I've seen it happen plenty of times before, where somebody is about to get charged for something, and they run to rehab to quote unquote hide or delay.
Yep.
But I don't know if that's the case. Maybe Jill Daniels has enough connections with the DA Morrissey's office, and she has hired an attorney, and they just did her a solid, did her a favor, and delayed her arraignment for a week.
Hey, but the good news is, Scott, that we're all going to be there again, right?
Well, I'm there.
I know. That's just crazy.
But the secondary thing that was crazy to me. Okay, so Ferris gets up there. He doesn't have an attorney, which happens every day. 99% sometimes of people being arraigned don't have a lawyer yet. So that was no biggie.
Are you inside the courtroom?
I was in the courtroom yesterday. Yeah.
All right. Cool. Good. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off.
So, and we're thinking, okay, it's 9 o'clock call. There's probably 25 first calls, but we all went in with Aiden and Meredith, and we're all sitting there. We filled half the courtroom, which was awesome. But they called Jim Ferris first, and we were like, "Wow, this is good." Like this, we figured, he could be the 15th call, not the first. So they cut right to the chase. They went right to Ferris. He, of course, stands up there. He doesn't have an attorney, which is no big deal. That happens every day.
Yep.
But then the prosecutor from DA Morrissey's office tells the judge, "Judge, we need a special prosecutor. I'm standing here to talk to you because obviously I have to by default, but we have been unable to find a special prosecutor for this case."
What?
And the judge is looking at the ADA from Morrissey's office and says, "I need a sidebar right now." So they had a pretty long sidebar where this ADA out of Meatball Morrissey's office is explaining to the judge that somehow, for some reason, we've been unable to find a special prosecutor to prosecute Jim Ferris and Jill Daniels. Tell me that isn't fishy.
Is it mellow free?
When they need a special prosecutor to prosecute Aiden Carney, aka Turtle Boy, they're falling out of the trees like the leaves right now.
Right.
But now they need a special prosecutor to go after McAlbert characters. They can't find one.
That's interesting.
So if you talk about ultimate corruption, and this is just my wild theory,
right.
If you want to get Jill Daniels and Jim Ferris off, you claim you can't find anybody to prosecute them.
That makes sense. Unfortunately, it makes sense.
But the judge, I think, was a little confused, but also like, yeah, no, we're arraigning this guy. And whatever he told DA Morrissey's ADA,
Right.
Like, hey, between now and the next court date, you better find a special prosecutor.
So let's put this into perspective. I get arrested the night before. I'm downstairs in shackles. I'm getting ready to get arraigned. They pulled me upstairs. I'm standing there in shackles, and they can't find anybody to arraign me, so they got to let me go.
Yep.
Yeah, that would be a lucky day, right? Yeah.
Right? That's how it would play out.
Oh, cool. You can't find any prosecutor to prosecute me, so let me go. Have a good day.
Unhinge me. I'll see you next week, right? I mean, that's bullshit.
Well, I mean, we all know Stoughton District Court is deep into the corruption. The clerk magistrate is tied to the McAlberts.
Right.
That goes down a whole other rabbit hole, a whole other road of how he can explain how corrupt our mass trial court system is and who these people are that work there.
Right. Hey,
and how they're tied into the DAs in their county.
O'Malley wasn't the judge, though.
I forget who the judge was. I've seen him before. I've been in that court before. He's actually a good judge. He doesn't take any BS.
He's an older guy in the 70s, maybe 60s.
No, he's not that old. No.
Okay.
Somebody in the chat will know who the judge was yesterday. It's
on that spreadsheet.
Yeah, he's done Turtle Boy before. He knows who Turtle Boy is. He's been in front of him before.
Okay.
So I don't know. We all walked out of court yesterday. Like, what just happened? How did Jill Daniels get her arraignment delayed a week? And how is DA Morrissey's office claiming they can't find a special prosecutor? How convenient, because now we're prosecuting McAlberts.
Do you know who her father was? He was a clerk up at the Quincy courthouse, and he went by the name Pops, and everybody knew him. He used to be a bartender at Captain Fishbones. That's how I got to know him. So I've known Pops. That's why I called him Pops. That's how he was introduced to me. And he literally would bring the jurors in and out, talk to judges. He would mingle with prosecutors, defense attorneys. He was like, he knew everybody. He was out there for like 30 some odd years.
Yeah.
That's Jill Daniels' father.
Well, any good defense attorney that you could possibly hire, when they walk into a court, they know everybody. They're friendly with the prosecutors. They're friendly with all the probation staff because they work with them every day. Yeah, they're on the other side. They're on the defense side every day. But a good defense attorney doesn't burn bridges. They create them. You know what I mean?
Because usually at one time they were a prosecutor, right? They do the time. Typically, they get out of law school, they become a prosecutor for a couple of years, so that they know all the players, and then move on to a private practice. You're right.
Yeah,
that's what Yannetti did. That's what a lot of good, successful defense lawyers. They do their time in Suffolk. They do 6 or 7 years, and then they know all the judges and all the other bullshit. And then
the last thing you want as a defense attorney, when he walks into a courtroom you're about to be arraigned in, or it's your next court appearance, and you realize your attorney doesn't know a soul, doesn't know the judge, never been in front of that judge, doesn't know the prosecutor, doesn't know the probation office, doesn't know the court officers. If you're the defendant, you're like, oh my God, I'm in trouble. My lawyer doesn't know anybody.
Or it gets thrown out and the lawyer just goes back to where he's from. Some weird shit could get on, So Jim Farris doesn't have to be at court next Friday, does he? Or just Jill?
No, I mean the only bright side moment of yesterday, and none of us saw this coming, is they put a harassment prevention order on Jim Farris to stay away from Turtle Boy. That's basically That was basically the only plus on our side, quote unquote.
So if Aiding or Turtle Boy goes to CF McCarthy's to have a meal of food, and Jim's out front, he's got to leave.
Yeah, but you know what, Jim Farris goes, well, Your Honor, I work next door, and Turtle Boy comes to my establishment, and what am I supposed to do? And the judge gave him like, hey, listen, dude, you got a restraining order. When you hire a lawyer, talk to your lawyer about it. But I'm giving you an HPO, and you have to stay away from Eden Carney. Period. You figure it out, pal.
I like this guy.
Well, I'm not quoting him, but
Yeah,
that's
but-
basically how it came across. I'm paraphrasing it with how I felt it went off.
Yeah. But still, that's like the first good news or, example paraphrasing that I've heard come out of a judge's mouth and involved in this whole court thing in a year.
No, I think the judge is actually getting sick of it.
Right.
Having Turtle Boy in front of him and all the
Right.
shenanigans going on and restraining orders flying everywhere, and
Yeah, don't forget they have all the video, right?
now you get Jill Daniels and Jim Ferris assaulting Turtle Boy. The judge must be sitting there behind his bench saying to himself, what the F is going on? This is getting crazy. He's losing his patience. Yeah. And then he has an ADA from Morrissey's office telling him, oh, we can't even find a special prosecutor. If I was the judge, I'd be calling DA Morrissey right after that hearing in the morning break.
Yep.
If I was that judge, I'd be calling Michael Meatball Morrissey. This is Judge so-and-so from Stoughton District Court. What is wrong with your clown show? I just arraigned a man here, and you guys don't even have a special prosecutor. Are you kidding me?
And how long has it been, Scott?
When was that incident? In July?
Yeah. Sometime
now
he's getting somebody from now till then.
He's getting arraigned on October 11th, and the ADA from Morrison's office has to get up in front of the judge with his tail between his legs and tell the judge we can't find a special prosecutor. Come on.
Why do they need a special prosecutor?
Well, because DA Morrissey's office cannot prosecute friends of his, so he needs to have a special prosecutor.
That makes sense.
Is it friends or political donors?
Both or all of the above. Obviously, anybody tied to the McAlberts, either directly by blood or by friendships or whatever. So even Jill Daniels is tied to the McAlberts by blood, correct?
That's right. That's right. You're right, man. I forgot.
And then
he recused himself.
Bob Moss, Boss Mob goon Jim Ferris, who guards Chris Albert's pizza front shop. He's directly connected to Chris Albert. So,
was that Chris Albert that walked in with him yesterday, or no?
That person that walked in with him.
Yeah,
I couldn't quite figure it out because I thought at first he was an attorney.
Yeah.
But I'm starting to think now, in retrospect, looking back on it from yesterday morning, he might have been a plainclothes police officer. But I can't confirm that.
Boy, imagine that. That makes sense. Because if anyone said anything to Ferris, then they can go after him for witness intimidation.
And Jim Ferris walked into court with this dude, right? But when he left court, the one state police cat officer that was there and the chief court officer and another court officer escorted Jim Ferris back to his car.
No way.
Like the 15 free can read people standing out there, including Turtle Boy and Meredith, we're going to do anything to him. Ridiculous.
My goodness, man. It's so nuts. So they're saying that the incident happened on July 23rd of this year, and he just got arraigned yesterday.
Yeah, in the meantime, Meatball Morrissey couldn't find a special prosecutor? Come on. When they needed a special prosecutor to prosecute Turtle Boy, he finds a special prosecutor pretty damn quick.
Yeah, you're right there. Holy shit, dude.
Yeah, that don't make any sense. Makes zero sense.
Well, we'll see. This is like watching a movie. I got my popcorn. We'll see what happens in the next scene.
And then I was watching Brian LTL, and Jen O'Donnell was on, and she got a letter from the Canton Police Department saying that she wasn't harassed or wasn't that guy grabbed her and stuff like that. They're not going to prosecute or something like that.
Yeah, poor Jen. They're coming after her from every side.
Right, I felt bad for her.
And what's her recourse? Would she go to the cops?
Exactly.
Right.
Oh man.
What's she down to? Going to Josh Levy's office in the FBI? Where does she go?
She
I
can't
don't
do
know.
that. She'll get a letter.
Oh man. So like Patty Sherrill, that's her name, that wrote the letter and signed it, but it was like, basically, we're not going to help you. You know, I'm like, oh, what? That makes no sense. But yeah,
You know, if you think about the war, I call it a war, quote unquote. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Right.
So I look at Free Karen Reed movement as an army of truth seekers,
Okay.
and we're attacking the corruption. And what you're
Right.
seeing now is severe pushback.
Yep.
Like a big battle, quote unquote, is underway.
I got
So
you.
now you got Ducky Gate, you got Trooper Yuri fingerprinting rubber duckies. You
I
have a
know.
Canton detective that apparently was working for 6 months to track down Richard Schiffer.
That's right.
Who
I mean,
signs off? Who signs off on this stuff?
you got Canton police and state police hunting down Free Karen Reed supporters. What's wrong with that picture?
Yeah, you're right, Tom. Well, you're right, Scott. When you say it like that, man, when you say it like that, it makes no sense. But what you're saying is right. They're coming after us. You know, I mean, they're coming after ladies at their house, cooking dinner for the family. You have state police officer with a gun and a badge showing up at your house, asking questions. Well, did you send a message to so and so a year ago? What the fuck? I mean, come on. What the fuck? And then you got a guy that runs a business, and is dropping rubber duckies, rubber duckies out, and people are in fear.
He's not just running a business. He's got employees. He's providing a service to the community, and they're putting the hammer to the guy.
Oh man, yeah.
That's outrageous.
I mean, this is nuts. It's nuts. I've never seen anything like it in my life.
How many days since Enrique's been murdered? Because I've yet to see anything on the state police website about that.
I mean, 80, 81, something like that. 90, 81, yeah. 82 days, no answers.
Nothing. We got nothing, right?
Nope.
No, Lori Healy's just hoping the public forgets about it and moves on.
And you have 100 people, 100 recruits just quit. Scott, 100 recruits quit the academy the 3 days before they graduate. What's up with that?
I don't know if that's correct, Tommy. I think what they were counting is you bring in a recruit class. They've passed their physical test to get into the academy.
Yeah.
What happens in most police academies, including the state police, is in the first week or two, recruits start dropping out because they can't keep up with the washouts.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not like 100 people quit, 2 days before graduation. I think they're counting the attrition throughout the whole academy.
No, I think they're talking about people that were going to graduate that chose not to graduate.
Maybe. I'm just assuming on the normal course of things.
Oh yeah, that's going to happen. Yeah. Just that's going to happen one way or the other.
Yeah.
But what they were talking about was the people that were in Enrique's class. They up and they said, we're not going to do this. And they walked out the Monday before graduation. Graduation was a Wednesday. They walked on a Monday.
That's even in our academies, even in my academy, I forget how many people washed out within the first week or two. They either can't keep up with the physical training, or they're not doing good in class, or some people decide a couple weeks into the academy, you know what, this isn't for me. And they resign.
No.
Yeah, see, I think we only had one in my academy.
Well, our academy classes are usually pretty large, so you're bound to lose some people. So
yeah,
but Scott, you guys got to be on your toes with what you did, man. That's no joke. What you guys do. I mean, you're in jail with the worst of the worst, right? I mean, it's bad.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, our academy is like a parallel universe to police, but our academy training is just as intensive and slightly different area.
Oh yeah, I saw
the academy has to be just as vigorous and educational,
if not more.
Yeah.
You know, I saw what happens. I saw what happened the other day. That guy gets stabbed. You know, just walking by himself.
I know that officer, by the way.
Oh my, is he all right?
He's doing okay.
All
Could have
right.
been a lot worse.
But he gets like went right to the throat. The dude went right for his throat. It wasn't
Yeah,
like
People don't realize that even in maximum security, you only have 2 officers working those blocks, and you let half of them out at a time for a recreational period, or you letting them out to go to the library, or you're letting them out to go to the chow hall or whatever. People don't realize that. They think that maximum security, the inmates sit in their cells all day. They don't. It's a very social. The inmates are out and about. So any given moment or any given day, if they decide to attack the 2 officers running that block, they could.
Did you ever run into any bullshit like that?
Oh yeah, we could have a show for 3 hours.
No shit, huh?
The problem is though, right? Is you're still locked up. You're still inside the wall. That's the problem.
Well, I mean, about 20 of my 32 years of my career, I was on the road.
Okay.
But I do have plenty of years of experience in both the women's prison and the men's prisons.
Oh my God, man. Imagine spending 8 hours of your day of your life or more with those kind of people all the time. That's like, that's who you're interacting with, and that's who you're trying to keep an eye on. I couldn't do what you do, bro. I couldn't do it.
Well, in other states, the job I did on the road would be called state marshal, but in Massachusetts, it's a division of the Department of Corrections. So we're given a special state police commission, and I'm on the road every day, bringing inmates to court, bringing them to the hospital, transferring inmates.
Okay.
But I have to have a special state police commission to do that job. Yep. In other words, in Massachusetts, they don't give us a title. But the easiest way for me to explain to the public what I did is I was a state marshal, but there's technically not that title in Massachusetts.
Yeah, well, you driving around for 20 years of your life with driving people around like that, the most dangerous people, that are incarcerated, and you were in the maximum security, man. I thought they were locked up for 23 hours a day.
No, okay. Even in the max, if you're in a regular general population cell block, you have a lot of out of cell time. People don't realize that.
Wow.
Within each prison, there's a jail. So say that video you just saw of those officers being assaulted a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
That block, I'm guessing, probably has around 88 inmates. So you're letting out 44 at a time.
Okay.
So they're out using the showers. Some of them are out mopping the floors. Meanwhile, you got one officer at the podium, and he controls the doors and everything from a computer screen.
Yep.
Meanwhile, the other officer, every half hour or hour at the max, you have to do a round. You have to walk around. You have to walk around the whole block on the first tier, then go up the second tier. As you're walking around, you're looking into cells. You're seeing what these guys are up to. You know what I mean?
And you're alone. You're doing it by yourself.
You're alone. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay.
So if you look at that video from a couple of weeks ago, he's on his round. You can't see his partner. His partner's like in the background at the podium.
Yep.
So if you're running the podium, you're keeping an eye on your partner. Like your partner will say, "Hey, I'm doing my round." Okay. But meanwhile, you're answering the phone. You're opening the door to let people in and out of your cell block. But at the same time, out of the corner of your eye, you're watching your partner.
And then again, when they're in the cells, the lockdowns, obviously it's a lot easier to do your walk. You're not in much danger that way. But when they're out and about during the day, man, that was crazy, man.
If you're the officer at the podium, you just locked in the high side or the left side. Now you're letting out the other guys on the other side.
Yeah.
As soon as they come out of the cell, you have like 4 inmates coming to the podium. Hey, Officer McGinnis, can you call the nurse and blah blah blah. Okay. You know what I mean? And some guys are running to the showers. It's a very social, interactive place.
Okay.
So people don't realize that. The public, they see movies and TV and they think these guys are locked in their cells all day, banging on the bars and sticking a cup out. Hey, can you get me some water? You know what I mean? It's not reality. It's not how it runs.
Really? Wow. Okay.
But
Oh,
if you get
shit.
in a fight in that said block,
Yeah.
Oh, that's
you call for response. The officers start pouring in. The say it's usually an inmate on inmate fight.
Yeah.
So those inmates literally get tackled and quote unquote arrested. They're handcuffed and they're brought up to the secure unit, the whole quote unquote.
Okay. Wow.
And that's even in the maximum. That's the reality of the social interaction between the inmates themselves and the staff.
So earlier we were talking about people that are involved with the Free Karen Reed movement that have been hanging out in Canton or gone to Canton, that have been followed, or do you feel like you've been followed at all, Scott, at all, home or anything like that?
I suppose because I'm not that, I don't live in that community. I haven't really felt that.
Okay.
But on the other hand, I remember seeing all the trouble in the intimidation that the women were getting, like say at the select board meetings.
Okay.
So I started showing up just to be there and support.
Right.
And I remember when I first started going to the select board meetings, the goons that were there trying to like hover over the microphone and intimidate like Rita Lombardi and Jen O'Donnell. I literally just started showing up and just standing there, kind of like blocking the mic. And some of these people approached me and said, who are you? You don't even live in Canton. What are you doing here? Go home. So kind of like very, very veiled threats.
Gotcha. Yeah, because I remember watching it, and I would see you in the back, and you would have your sign just leaning against the back wall right before the line starts where the microphone would be.
Because there was one meeting that I missed, and there was a bunch of McAlberts there, and there's Rita being brave as ever, Jen, and all these the heroes of Canton, the heroines of Canton, I call them.
Right.
And I'm watching it on like Young Jerks, and I see all these McAlbert goons there,
Yeah.
and I'm like, "Where's all the men?"
Right.
So I got so upset that I'm like, I will drive to Canton Town Hall, and I will go up into that meeting and stand there and give a little pushback to these McAlbert goons.
Where are all the men? Seriously, where are you guys? What's going on?
Dennis Sweeney's he's the only one with the big enough friggin' boots up there, man. What a guy.
I know.
I mean, there's some men of Canton that go, but in my mind, not enough.
Right. You're right. Just the way that audit committee treated the women was just such utter disrespect.
Yeah.
It literally boiled my blood. So I'm an hour away, and I'm watching that meeting, and the heroines of Canton are getting swarmed by the McAlbert goons. Right. I literally, if I could get there in time, I would have drove there that night. I was so upset.
I was pissed. Bob McCarthy was something else that night, man. I was like, "Are you shitting me right now? Wow. This is how we're gonna run this meeting, And he was saying 3-2 before they even voted. Like, and some of the questions.
Bob McCarthy is such an ass. But at least they started getting him to back down a little bit in the last meeting, and that's because there was so many people in his face. The previous meeting, there was only a few people in the audience. You know what I mean? So, this time McCarthy had to face the music more. Yeah.
And then now we have a vote coming up for a new school. I mean, he's on that board as well. I mean, so it's like, do we want to spend $250 million for a school? I don't have.
It's not even a school, Mike. It's half a school.
Right. It's a Galvin Middle
It's
School.
half a school, isn't it?
It's not even a brand new school. It's a major addition. You know what I mean? Okay. Total renovation, major addition. It's like a compromise. When I used to live in Worcester County, there was a regional high school in the town I lived in that they wanted to just tear it down and build a new one.
Yeah.
But the price was going to be so outrageous. The compromise was high school expansion renovation.
Okay. It sounds like a money.
They
sounds
don't
like a money
need.
grab.
They don't need to make these people in Canton any smarter. All right, they really don't. They need to turn the freaking school system into a jail and just keep everyone there.
Well, Rita made an excellent statement about it. I don't know what show she was on. Maybe she was on like Young Jerks after the meeting. Rita's saying, listen, just like me, I'm not against having a upgraded modern school. But Rita is like, hey, there's an elephant in the room. We have a corrupt police department. Let's tackle that first. And Rita said, I'm not voting for this for the middle school expansion until we get this Canton police problem solved.
Yep, I heard that as well. And I live in Canton, so I can vote for that, and that's my vote. I'm not going to give them anything. I want body cameras. Where are those? We got these flock cameras, we got these license plate readers, and the most important thing is we should have these goddamn body cameras on these guys. So at least we have some kind of accountability. And now you want to spend $250 million on a partial build.
Do you
What's
really
up?
think body cameras are gonna fix anything? That's a systemic problem in the police department. Body cameras aren't gonna fix it.
Okay.
It might slow it down a little bit, though, Tommy. It's just very fishy that Canton doesn't have them.
Listen, if you watch the cop videos, right? They put the camera dead center in the chest, and then when they're doing something, the camera's always covered. You ever notice that?
Well, look at the just en route incident. You literally had an officer that tore the thing off because he's realizing, oh crap, this is going to look bad. Yes. He might as well have just put it on the ground and stomped the thing.
Right away, he said that, didn't he? Right away, he knew it was going to be bad.
Yep.
They all knew it. Right away, instant.
Hey, Scott, there's a standout next week for that, and we'll get you the details, man. It'd be great if you could go to that one too. I think it's the 18th in Brookline. But
it's gonna be right in Brookline, where the shooting took place.
Where the shooting took place, yeah. So
Friday the 18th.
I think the 18th, yeah.
Okay, I'm looking at my calendar. I literally have a wall calendar with all the court dates and standouts on it.
Nice.
I know.
The 18th looks open.
All right, I'll make sure it is that date, and they're gonna have T-shirts and all that other stuff. I saw that you were wearing the hat one time, so. But they're actually gonna have.
No, I wear my Justin Root hat all the time now.
Yeah, he wears the lanyard too.
Good, but they're gonna have it right where they finally stopped him, or where he stopped driving, and then took that nurse and told the nurse to get away, and then they shot him again. That's where they're gonna have it right there.
Exactly. So okay, the first shooting we can debate that. Justin Root produces a paintball gun. Right. I can kind of see where in close proximity, where that initial officer could be justified in shooting if Justin Root's coming at him and what appears to be a weapon. But everything after that moment, and especially when they caught up to him the second time and he's literally unarmed, and a citizen comes by to offer him aid, and all of a sudden all these police cruisers are screaming in, and all these officers are telling her to get out of the way, and he's laying on the ground already shot, and they basically unloaded into him.
Yep, you get rid of the money. Yep.
Hey, the guy, the cop that originally shot Justin, the first shoot, it wasn't even his gun, Scott.
At the hospital. It wasn't, right?
Yeah. Yes. He grabbed his friend's gun. And and I think, if I remember correctly, that cop had just worked as like a detail and was on another one. So he was beyond tired when the whole thing went down. So I think you have some of that. If that comes into play, right?
Sure. Yeah.
Do you know how serious that is? If I ever got caught carrying a firearm other than the one I was issued, oh my God. And God forbid you ever use that firearm.
Bingo. Yes. Yes.
That is so huge, Tommy. Huge.
Does it happen a lot?
No.
Matter of fact, Tommy, they're so strict. They're so strict about it. If I ever used a set of handcuffs that didn't have a serial number that was attached to my department, if I even got caught using handcuffs that were my own personal ones, I'd be in trouble. Now you're talking about a firearm? Are you insane?
Wow.
But I think they even were responsible for all the rounds that they got issued too. They just didn't give you a box and say load your own.
Oh, definitely, Tommy. The rounds that I was issued, it has to be a certain brand.
Yeah.
If I start putting like
Federal Armory
plus rounds in
them.
my magazines and I get caught doing that, I'm in big trouble.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
If you're,
I didn't know that.
If you're issued a 180 grain bullet and you're shooting somebody with a 200 grain bullet, that's a problem.
Exactly, Tommy. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but
so
that's,
this is
that's
the
also
absolute
what
worst.
happened.
This is the absolute worst case scenario for this officer. It happens to be a day that you're not carrying your service weapon. You're carrying your backup or a buddy of yours. And and you probably get away with it if you just had a normal, non-eventful day. But all of a sudden, now you're involved in a shooting and you're not even using your service weapon.
How would he not?
Same people involved with the investigation in Justin Root, same people involved Karen Reed, same people involved Sarah Birchmore, same people involved with they're all bad. I mean,
this should have been the most thorough, crazy investigation. But guess what? It's under DA Morrissey's office, his state police detective unit.
Yep.
We keep saying CPAC because it was called CPAC for like 40 years. They changed the name.
It's
basically the DA Morrissey state police detectives. They go in and they say, this was a good shoot. Have a good day, guys. Go home. You're all set.
Yep, Yuri Buchanan.
Yep, that's exactly what they did too.
Because that's outrageous.
The state police were
that's why the
involved
Justin Root thing gets me fired up.
It does, man.
And they cleared the Boston cops.
Yep. So the Boston Police Department called the Norfolk County District Attorney's Office for a favor to look into this.
Yep.
And they did.
And they walked in and cleared them all. You all go home.
Yep. You're all set. You owe me one.
And I don't know if it was Sean McDonough or somebody else. When we talk about when did the FBI get in town?
Yeah.
Sean McDonough kind of went there a little bit. He goes, don't be surprised if the FBI was looking into Justin Root before Sandra Birchmore and before John O'Keefe.
That would make sense.
Well, for what though, Scott? Because they don't do murders. FBI doesn't do murders.
It would be police corruption. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. They cleared Boston PD in a couple days too. It wasn't like dragged out. It was like 5 days.
What convolutes that whole situation is you have Boston police involved, which is Suffolk County DA, but where Justin Root's final resting place was technically happened to be Norfolk County.
Brookline? Okay.
Brookline, yeah.
So you had a mix of Boston police.
I got
you. So many cops converged on that scene. You're talking about different jurisdictions that kind of got mixed into the
the troopers, the Boston cops and the troopers, they all fired 30 something times after the second shoot.
So the Boston officers that fired would be under like Boston Internal Affairs Investigation or whatever. It's a very complicated situation because of the way the whole event went down.
I guess so, man. That's fucked up. It's fucked up. Wow. You tell me more than I knew before, and I'm glad you did. And I didn't realize that. I just feel bad for the family, man. They've got no answers. They've been stonewalled. Not talked to. No one's calling them back. She's trying to change the law. I think it's his sister, and she's made it her mission to make sure something happens here. And she won't give up. She won't give up. And I tip my cap to her too. So we'll have to go show her some love, have her on the show again, and get some support going. So
hey, real quick, you know how them freaking idiots on the other side were bitching about me and the duck, that freaking stupid duck.
Yeah.
Remember that? I'm going to jail because I showed the duck. Remember that?
Yeah.
You showed it on what, in your live stream?
What's gonna happen now? What's this gonna get me?
What does it say? Free Dr. Turtle Boy. I don't think that's gonna scare anybody, Tom. Oh,
Yeah, but don't throw that, Tommy. It's a rock. You might break something.
no shit.
Can I get charged with littering, Scott? It's a rock.
Nope.
It's a defaced rock.
Wow, that is crazy, Tom.
Who made those?
I have no idea, but talent upon talent.
Wow. Oh, they're at that standout?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
They're
that's
right
cool.
here.
Hey, Scott, what do you think about the Betterol letters?
They're, as my kids would say, they're fire.
That is,
My son started first using that. It's fire. I'm like, what are you talking about?
he's right. It is. I was watching Melanie Little yesterday, and she did the round 2, and I was like, wow, that's fire.
I was in the middle of rewatching Nurse Kim because she had Betero on last night, and it's the first time he's spoken in public since the second letter dropped. I'm like halfway through the show.
I got to watch it again then as well, because
I could listen to Mark Betero every day, all day. I freaking love that guy's thinking, his intellect, his experience, his logic. He's just music to my ears whenever I hear him speak.
If he came out with a song, I'd buy the album, man.
Yeah. I mean, every day I can't go 2 minutes without shaking my head up and down. Yes, Mark. Yes, Mark. You're right on it. I totally agree. You're just saying it better than I can.
Oh man, yeah, right. That's what I think too. Like he can articulate what I'm thinking. He can put it to words, and I can't.
And he can meter himself because he's an attorney, right?
Yeah.
He knows how to say it without saying it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I gotcha. I know. But he's been quiet. You're right. He has been quiet for a week or so, and probably letting it all sink in. And now he's, Nurse Kim had him on. That's good. I'm sure a lot more people want to have him on, but man, you gotta be careful. You gotta keep your cards close to your chest a little bit, so to speak. But what's coming out is jaw dropping with Kate Peters, and I know you and Kate Peters have this love-hate relationship.
Oh, you think?
And I know that every time that she had a court hearing, you would show up, we'd have you on, and next thing you know, she's in violation of an RO. She's walking out.
Well, see, a lot of people don't realize the history between Turtle Boy and Kate Peter long before Karen Reed ever came along. So Kate Peter was my villain from a long time ago.
Right. When he worked for her and stuff. Way back then, when she worked for him, or before that?
No, she was working with him like as a co-creator on his channel.
Right.
And she would do some of his posts and live show. And then Turtle Boy figured out she was stealing some of the ad revenue. And he basically fired her. From that moment forward, just like you would see like in a comic, she became, Turtle Boy's arch enemy, like, the Penguin versus Batman.
Unhinged.
That would be the
and this has been going on for 4 or 5 years.
Oh my gosh. I mean, some of to hear that call about him violating the RO in court, and when she called and told, he's the short guy with the, his face looks like this, and I was just like, what a douchebag.
Yep.
Like, what is that all about?
She is the most vile, vindictive sociopath I've ever experienced. She is like the ultimate villain. That's why every time she goes to court, that's why I'm standing out there.
I know. I've always wondered why you have this love-hate relationship with her. And like, it's more hate than not, but she is one crazy person, man. And that Turtle Boy is the last person I'd want to steal from. If I was working for him. Imagine that. That's exposing yourself right there.
only one.
Well, she went after him even harder when Turtle Boy broke the Karen Reed case. So.
Mike, I can't talk to you right
She
now.
was jealous of all the
Yeah.
all the attention she was getting and stuff.
I guess the point I'm making is Krusty Panties just didn't come out of nowhere. There's a long history to her and where we're at.
Yeah, I mean, he goes after her. If she comes after him, he comes after her twice as hard. But like he says, he's like, I can't believe I'm giving her actually some airspace right now. Like, but to the point, but she's actually involved more than we knew, like in terms of working with the Massachusetts State Police. Now, is she assigned? Is she with documented informant, or is she just somebody that's calling in and talking to him? And
that's what everybody's pointing out. That's what everybody is pointing out that is wrong. If she was a confidential informant, she's supposed to be fully vetted and documented.
Yeah, Scott,
I think what Mello and Tully and Morrissey were doing was trying to keep her hidden.
Okay. And that's why they went by the name Jane, right? Is that what I'm understanding?
No, that was Lindsay. That was Lindsay Gattani's alternate account. Okay.
Wow.
That's a whole other rabbit hole story. But the bottom line is, Kate Peter basically was out to get Turtle Boy, and she approached D.A. Morrissey's office, but D.A. Morrissey can't directly prosecute Turtle Boy because of the conflict, so he hired Kenneth Mello.
Gotcha.
But at the same time, D.A. Morrissey's state police detective group is out to get Turtle Boy. So even though Kenneth Mello is the independent prosecutor, it doesn't matter because you still have D.A. Morrissey's minions in Tully going after Turtle Boy. It's crazy.
Holy shit. That's a nice car. But so then they get Jen Genduso, the other girl. What was that?
Leah Genduso. That's the state trooper that Turtle Boy got canned off the state police in that big scandal.
So she's involved with that too, right?
Well, Leah Genduso also hates Turtle Boy, and the state police hate Turtle Boy because of all the major blockbusting stories that's gotten the state police in trouble.
Yes, a couple.
So if you really look at it, we just talked about the history of Kate Peter and why she hates Turtle Boy.
Yep.
Leah Genduso hates Turtle Boy because he broke the state police scandal when they hired her, and they should have never hired her.
Jilted lover too. She's a jilted lover.
Yep, and then some higher ups in the state police went down for that Leah Genduso thing.
A couple lieutenants left, didn't they?
Yep.
So now you get to Turtle Boy breaking story number 1, Canton cover up.
Yep.
D.A. Morrissey and the state police have come with him with a fierce vengeance from that moment forward.
Okay.
Because he exposed them already. So they were waiting for something. And this was it. And they jumped on it. And they shouldn't have.
In other words, long before Karen Reed, they've been wanting to take down Turtle Boy. Look at it that way.
Okay.
This is just the reason.
Wow. Man. He's got no fear, man. He's got big balls, Turtle Boy. And then to have that Giannotti girl, whatever that girl was, to be in the bathroom while she's getting text messages from either Tully or Mello about what to do next.
Well, now you're getting back to the Bettero's second letter that he just released.
That's an indicative of being handled by a handler.
Okay.
He was calling for what do I do now? He's giving her the instruction on what to do. Do this, do this.
Right.
Obviously,
make the phone call.
If Lindsay Gattani is actually in the middle of a true domestic violence incident, she's calling 911. She's not calling Lieutenant Brian Tully or Special Prosecutor Kenneth Mello.
At what time of night?
That was late.
And we can go back to Mark Bettero's second letter. He spells it all out. It was a total setup.
Yep.
Devious corruption going on.
It was. It totally was, man. I couldn't that's why Melanie Little was almost puking in her mouth. Like, this is unheard of. Like in all her practicing years, she's never seen anything like this in her life.
Because it's
like, wow.
The system is designed so that this cannot happen, but yet it is because they just sidestep in the system. That's why she's so taken back, because she loves the law. She practices the law, right? And to see what the, what the abortion they're making out of this is, what do? You go to the cops?
Well, do you remember I did a remote live for your channel, Tommy, when Kate Peter was at Leominster District?
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yeah, I do.
What was that, like 4 court appearances ago by her?
Yeah.
And she walked out. We figured she was
and I'm pacing back and
remember?
forth, like maybe this is the day they finally put her in jail where she belongs.
Yep.
She's been to 3 more court appearances. She has even more charges. And guess what? They never put the cuffs on her, ever.
I know.
To me, that's a clear and crystal sign that she's an operative for them.
Exactly.
God, and I know, if we had an RO on us and we even drove by the house, no matter where we ended up, they'd come and get us for violating that RO.
Of course. Obviously.
And no questions asked. There'd be a cop waiting at the end of the street, waiting for us to pull in. Why can't they do that to her?
As sociopathic and insane as Kate Peter is, I correlate that to that's how dirty D.A. Morrissey is and his state police troopers.
All of them. Yep.
Wow.
It's called weaponizing the law.
Wow.
They're doing a good job at it.
You think they've weaponized it enough? The next 4 Stoughton District Court dates are Karen Reed people being dragged in front of the judge.
And those 3 girls that we just talked about are talking to Jen McCabe.
Yes. Now I wonder what her role in this whole thing can be. I mean, if she's orchestrating this, right?
And
wasn't Jen McCabe babysitting Lindsay Gattani's kids at one point? I mean, how more connected can she be?
Yep. 100%.
Makes me fucking sick to my stomach, man. This is crazy.
But you know what's funny is the free Karen Reed naysayers and Turtle Boy is crazy.
Oh yeah, we're the conspiracy.
Could they read the Mark Barrow letter number 2 and not see it?
Well, I guess the thing is if you don't believe in that, then everything he says isn't true. Then that's just it's like Lally. Yeah, it didn't happen. Move on. What do you mean it didn't happen?
Mark Betterow would not put his career on the line if this was not true.
Nobody would. Neither would Tim Bradle. Neither would Tim Bradle.
Yeah. And why are there missing text messages?
Well, obviously, Trooper Nicholas Carino grabbed the phone.
I set you up for that one, bro.
Incompetent or what? One or the other. Incompetent.
That whole incompetence thing, the police were incompetent thing, that's the biggest cop-out, pun intended, I've ever heard.
Yeah.
First of all, if Sandra Birchmore was unalived by a civilian, they would have caught that guy like the next day.
Like Walsh.
If Officer John O'Keefe went to a civilian's house party at 24 Fairview Road,
right,
the Canton police and the state police would have caught the perpetrators the next day.
You're right.
So if you look at the common denominator and say Sandra Birchmore and Officer John O'Keefe, what's the common denominator?
It's the same play.
They're protecting police.
That's right. You're right. That's what I can't understand, man. I can't figure it out. Same thing with Justin. It's saving the police department.
Well, Justin Root is a cover-up because the officers that did a bad shoot at the end, they don't want to get each other in trouble, or they don't want to be in trouble themselves.
That's right. Yeah. They don't want to be sued. They don't want to lose their friggin' money.
Mm-hmm. That's crazy.
So if you look at the controversy in the Justin Root case, the Sandra Birchmore case, and the Officer John O'Keefe case, the common denominator amongst those 3, it's all these cops protecting each other no matter what. Absolutely, which is absolute corruption.
Yep. People were saying early on, like on court TV, it's impossible to keep a secret between 2 or 3 people. They did it with like 15 people. They were able to pull it off or try to pull it off. And it's just,
And now that we see these standouts like the one Tom is at and the ones we all go to, it's basically the public saying, we see your bullshit, we see the corruption, we need to stop it, but we can't call Maura Healey, we can't call Attorney General, who do we call?
Right.
The most we can do is get out there with a sign.
yep.
And hope for change, push for change.
And vote for change. Yep. You're right.
And that's all we got. We got nothing other than that. We can't go to the cops.
I know.
And then you're doing a bridge standout, or like Tommy's standing there with these people right now. There's somebody driving by giving them the finger. Like, you people are a nuisance. You're up on a highway bridge. You're going to cause an accident. They're not getting the point. They're not getting the point of the free speech and trying to get the message out.
They don't understand, man. They're disconnected. Now, I'll be honest with you, Scott. Before John's passing, I was one of those people. I really didn't understand it. Like, I had my head in the ground, so to speak. But I was living in Canton. I got arrested a couple of times. I found really odd. But when John passed away is when I really dug in, really started seeing it, really understand how it worked in the court systems, really understand how the state police and the Canton police work together. And that just completely blew my mind. And every day it got worse, and more came out. And just now here I am today on YouTube. I'm fucking YouTube.
See?
Well, I think through all these tragedies, I think one good thing I can say that's come about is the general public has a much greater understanding of how the district attorneys in each county work and their attached detective units, the court system. That's one of the things I'm the most happy about, being like a OG boots on the ground, free Karen Reed person.
Yep.
Is how much I have been and we have been able to educate the public.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that, man. I agree with that 100%, man. All the YouTube content makers, like, they go out every night and put on a show for an hour or two and talk about what's going on, whether it's within Canton, whether it's the cover up with Karen, or going to a trivia night, or digging into this stuff. I just can't get over how intertwined that Dr. Turtle Boy, and the Karen Reed cases and the same players are all connected.
And why is the free Karen Reed movement growing by the day exponentially? Is it because these people watched WCVB Channel 5 Boston?
No.
Yeah.
No.
They listen to Julie Grant.
They're watching.
Or is it
YouTube.
because they watched the inane stupidity on court TV?
Nope.
Right.
Free Karen Reed has grown out of YouTube, Turtle Boy stories, etc. Alternate media, not mainstream media.
Scott, you and me were out in front of the courthouse how many times? There was nobody out there. Just you and me.
Yep. And Stoughton.
I mean, think about how scary it is, Tom and Mike, if Turtle Boy didn't break this story, number one, first and foremost. But number two, if the free Karen Reed movement hadn't grown to where it is now, if you're just Joe Q Public and you're turning on Channel 5 News every night, you have no idea what's going on.
Nothing.
Right. And why would you question? You have no reason to question anything either.
I mean,
right? There was no reason to question nothing until John happened.
Well, when the WBZ said they had ring camera footage of it happening, it was pretty much over in my mind. They got it on film, right?
That's an example to the opposite extreme, Mike.
Yeah.
That's the mainstream media working hand in hand with D.A. Morrissey and spreading propaganda.
Right.
But what I was just talking about a moment ago is how the mainstream media news just doesn't report.
No.
They don't want to criticize the government.
Nope.
All right, wait a minute. Didn't they say there was video of Enrique? And didn't they say there were a bunch of people there watching Enrique? Well, what's up? Where's the video?
I don't know.
It's just a boxing match that went wrong, right?
Well, if Maura Healey was busy signing in the pet protection bill Thursday for
the beaver.
for animal boarding places that mistreated animals, which is
Oh my
fine.
God.
I agree with it.
All right.
Yeah.
The legislation, but Maura, there's a big elephant in the room right now.
Yeah.
Like, where are your priorities, Maura?
Mm-hmm. Well, I've heard that if Kamala wins, she's going to be the United States Attorney General. That's the big dealio. So who knows?
Yeah, we can't go down that. We can't hit that third rail on Tommy's channel.
Sorry. All right, sorry. But that is the other part to this equation that that she's looking at Washington. But I'm not going to go there. I won't go there. But that's the word. And I also heard Charlie Baker's making a run for it. Maybe coming back out.
Charlie Baker. I haven't heard his name in forever.
Yeah. Look. Yep. Mentioned it yesterday.
The funny thing is, we're watching Tommy live at the standout. Yeah, they're probably getting a lot of beeps and thumbs up, but then you got the one person giving them the finger. Yeah. But it's free speech, man. I just went to the post office a few hours ago, and there's a bunch of people out there with Trump flags and American flags. Some people are giving them honks, go guys, and there's other people driving by giving them the finger. It's free speech, though.
And they get no buffer zone over there, right? They're allowed to do that type of stuff in front of the post office?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, no buffer zone in front of the post office.
That whole buffer zone was unconstitutional. But that's later. That's another conversation.
That's a whole other fight.
Yeah.
Again, right? Yeah. It shouldn't be this hard.
Hey, does anybody know off the top of their head when Weinberg's motion's going to be read at all? Does anybody know the date of that? Is it November or December?
In the spreadsheet.
Okay, I'll have to look
Is it? Yeah, I'd have to look it up. I don't know it off the top of my head.
I can't wait for that. Cannot wait for that. I think we should all be at Uncle Joe's house that day too, outside. That'd be kind of cool.
Oh, and I'm looking at my calendar, and you know what I forgot about? I'm looking at Thursday, October 17th. Matt Farwell at U.S. District Court in Boston.
Yes. Oh yeah. Farwell the 17th.
Yep. I heard yesterday they got DNA. They only have a DNA connection on him and Sandra. I mean the baby. So that's gonna happen.
Oh yeah, that's easy.
Yeah. Yep. That's gonna happen.
But what about these other cops? Right? Where are they?
Running scared. Mm-hmm. Running scared, dude.
They're all gone.
Yep. I mean, put the politics aside in the vast scope of this whole thing. I think U.S. Attorney Joshua Levy can't just walk away at this point. I don't know what he's going to do, but he's got to do something. No, he's got way too much time and too much money invested in this. And this is, believe it or not, this is a career maker. This is a big. If this all goes together and there's a huge RICO, he's in Washington doing something huge. Whatever, he can do whatever he wants. This is a career-making opportunity for him. What throws cold water on me, and it's also like Aiden's worries, is the vast scope of politics here, and does Joshua Levy go there? So that's kind of what makes me worried, but we'll see. Well, think about this, right? Yeah, if they come in, right, and they grab, say they grab 20 people. You got to fill those 20 spots. Who do you fill them with? Overnight, you're a lieutenant, you're a sergeant, you're a sergeant, you're a sergeant. You have to take all them tests to become them, right? Well, in my fantasy scenario, they wipe out the state police, the Canton police, and including the state house. Then what do we have for government or police? Right. You get the National Guard. Have martial law running Massachusetts. I don't know. It's pretty much martial law right now, man. With these other guys running it, they do whatever the fuck they want, right? That's how bad I believe the corruption is. But yeah. The driving around. I guess my point of view is very extreme negative. Well, it's okay. It's America. Yeah. You do whatever you want, but like you have cops driving around together, drunk, losing guns, don't know where they are,
You have other cops that, are helping to cover up another murder in Boston, to do something solid. You have someone else framing a young lady for a murder that happened inside a house that they never went inside of. You have a girl that was groomed since she was 12 and then unalived by a police officer. I mean, how much more can we go? How much more can there be? It's not Josh Levy just to step up and do something, man. These guys can't investigate themselves anymore.
Well, that whole Kevin Albert, internal affairs investigation crap, where they hired that independent guy. Did you read that?
I kind of did, and Lieutenant Gallagher was involved with that.
That's so outrageous. He 3-day suspension for that. Okay, so Kevin Albert has been put into a high position on Canton Police. He's a detective, right?
That's right.
He goes running off with Michael Proctor to do a cold case, and it turns into a day of bar hopping.
That's right.
I guarantee you, when I was in the marshal position, if I got caught doing anything even close to that, you know what the first thing that would happen to me? They'd be like, hey, turn in your gun and badge, iron your uniforms, you're going back inside the prison.
Yeah.
So when I look at Kevin Albert and his infractions, the very first thing that should have happened to him was being taken off as a detective.
That's right.
A true Canton Police Department with true discipline.
Right.
They would have knocked him back down to patrolman and put him on a desk.
That's right. And the people in Canton would feel so much better about that too. Knowing like there was a big disciplinary action taken, but no. Well, he had the summer off paid and got 5 days, 3 days, whatever it was, and it was a joke investigation. I heard one person say, "Well, he had a couple of drinks." Yeah, but we know he can handle that much. Those kind of words is like,
that report was so careful, so calculated.
It was bad. Yeah.
They did whatever they could to protect an Albert. Shocker.
Yep, I know. Not unusual.
Yeah, you look at a big department, so like I'm familiar with, is like Worcester Police.
Yeah.
So if a patrolman really screws up, instead of really like officially like hurting them that bad, you know what they do to them?
What?
Guess what? You're not on the road. Go downstairs and run the cell room.
Gotcha.
So it's kind of like informal discipline.
Gotcha. Go out and direct traffic, right? Do that kind of thing or whatever it might be.
No, well, running the cell room at a busy police station like Worcester is like running a mini jail.
Oh, okay. You get people going up and stairs, downstairs.
So you're not out on the road doing a patrol route. You've been spanked really hard.
Right.
Go downstairs and run the cell room, pal, until you smarten up.
And do they also do that in Springfield? I would imagine too.
Yeah.
Springfield's just as bad, if not worse. Brockton, Springfield, all those towns.
But when you got a tiny little Canton police station and everybody's buddy, you can screw up as bad as Kevin Albert did. Bar hopping with Proctor, and all you get is a 3-day suspension. Oh, you're still a detective? That's cool.
Yeah. Imagine let's just Jen O'Donnell, for example. She's been very vocal against the Canton police and the audit. And now you're driving your car around and, I wouldn't feel safe if I got into a car accident and I had to call somebody. She's kind of you got to call the state police. I guess you have to, right? I don't know what you're going to do. I see her point. Like, if she needs emergency service, someone in her house gets hurt, does she feel comfortable calling anybody in Canton? And that's a tough decision.
I'm sure she doesn't.
Right? Even Rita, and we still haven't heard about the balloons, man. Even the Sweeneys, even the
you mean the chemical attack?
No, Chief Helen is on that. She's going to get to the bottom of that. Not.
I know. There's a picture of her in the Citizen paper. I'm telling you guys, she's aged 50 years. She doesn't.
I've been saying that for a while. The last time I saw her in person at one of the select board meetings,
yeah,
I'm like, wow, she's going gray fast.
Oh yeah,
Well-
okay. To your point, the picture of her in the paper, she's almost all gray.
Think about this. What's her
It's
mortgage
crazy.
a month? What's her car payment? What's the insurance fee? What's her insurance bill a month?
Oh, it's good.
I can't even imagine.
That'll give you some stress, huh? Some gray hair, maybe.
mm,
Add this type of stuff on top of it, and having to cover for this one, that one, the corruption here and there. Yeah,
mhm.
I'm sorry, but she deserves what she gets. That's why she makes the big bucks, right, Mike?
Well,
She put herself in that position.
Short and shiny handed her a bag of shit. You know.
Yeah, well, they
And-
both use the bag, dude.
Oh yeah, they both shitting it. You know.
Yep.
But that's too bad. I mean, obviously she didn't know JOK was going to happen, but she knew about Birchmore obviously, and she knew about Casey. You know, one of the worst things I ever heard her say was that even if we found him, he probably wouldn't have made it.
That fucking hurts, man. That just goes right to my freaking core, dude.
That bothers me, man. Like they wouldn't.
I don't
even
know much
try.
about that case, but that's so fishy. How
Oh,
did they
dude.
not find his body?
And when
Imagine
Well,
this,
their
Scott.
excuse was they thought he fled the scene.
Yes.
So that means you didn't look that hard to see maybe if he got ejected and tossed into the tree line over there.
But
I know.
Scott, imagine if what if he did flee the scene, went to somebody's house, passed away at the house from internal injuries? What do you do then?
what if he was in
Yeah,
the house?
I mean that whole
Right?
case is just another rabbit hole of WTF.
And
Yeah.
guess who- and it happened right across the street from Meadows Ave. And guess who lives on Meadows Ave? Chris Albert.
Chris Albert,
Yeah, and John wasn't there at the time, but
yeah, One Meadows, yeah.
yeah. But so just think about that for a second. There was two people in the car allegedly. One's home. He has him with him. Waits a while, and brings him back out and drops him. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I wouldn't put it past anybody, right? Not with what we know now. It's just you can't rule it out. And I still go back to the Lieutenant Gallagher when he was being on the trial. We didn't have probable cause. Still fucking bothers
Yeah,
me.
that's right. That's right.
That bothers me so much that he said that.
That's all BS. That's what I'm saying. If John O'Keefe went into a civilian house party 4 doors down, they would have invaded that house. Are you kidding me?
Shit, man. We had high school parties and the cops showed up. They came right in the door because they had probable cause because they saw a beer can or something or whatever. Okay, we're going in.
That's why I say it was a cover up from the get go, before Canton police even arrived. Seraph or whoever the other officer was, they were already given word to stand down.
Okay. Yeah,
So
it would make sense.
I have a
It would make
question.
sense. Yeah.
Play this out for a second, right? John goes in, they get into a fight, nothing bad happens. He's all beat up. Then what happens? He goes to work the next day looking like he got knocked out? Like he's got to deal with Brian, his co-worker? Like what's that play?
I don't know. That's interesting, Tommy.
Chris, the guy at the pizza store I went with the nephew? Remember when we went and saw Chris that day and they were going to go and meet that night? So Chris must have been in on it. So how's he deal with that situation? You set me up, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Or Higgins. What's the deal with Higgins? Right?
I think they were all drunk and they were going to fight no matter what. They weren't thinking that far ahead.
Yeah. And once it happened, it was go from Jump Street right after that.
Because what Tommy just said. So say John O'Keefe survives the beating. There's still some explaining to do.
Exactly.
Of course. I mean, John was never going to be the same after that beating if he had never made it through, But it's the whole thing.
And who knows what John O'Keefe would have said if he survived.
Right. It's like you go to your supervisor.
Maybe that's why he had to die.
Oh, man. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying, Scott? Like once was on, it was on.
And the other thing that bothers me a lot too is where's the blood? Where's the fucking blood, man?
And the cement that was jackhammered out of the property.
I get all that, but like if they're trying to get us to buy into their theory, show me the blood outside. Where was it? You had nothing. You had
Everybody's
nothing.
torn that apart. I mean, he allegedly got hit at 12:30 something a.m.
Yeah.
And then
There's the frostbite.
when Gallagher's there with the leaf blower, the blood's on top of the snow or just below
right.
the surface.
Yep.
There's no way.
Right.
Yep. And if you had a warm body, it would have melted the snow a little bit.
It was before the snow.
I mean, everywhere we look, there's holes in this whole thing. I mean, you could talk for 8 hours.
I think trial 2, if it gets that far, it's gonna be a lot different. It's gonna be a lot different. Auntie Bev from the rip was kneecapping him the whole time with evidence in or out. She was very limited to what she would let in and what she would let out. And like they couldn't talk about the FBI, they couldn't talk about the TUI, they couldn't talk about anything. But here we have it, the public knows about it. So it's like guilty by public, but yeah, we're right on the money, man. We know what happened. But yet again, these jurors were going to convict her on number 2 because John and her were there at the same time, the telematics, and they were drinking. Those are the 3 reasons they were going to try to get her to plead manslaughter. That's sick, man.
That's to me. That's why modern juries are scary, because the way jury selection works and who you end up in the jury box. And some people are just statists. They believe the government. They believe the government. They trust their police. They trust the DA, and they just scary as hell.
Imagine if they had a bench trial. Oof.
If you had a fair and impartial judge. And Mark Bettero has spoke about this.
Yeah,
it should have been a bench trial, but obviously, if you did a bench trial in front of Auntie Bev, that would be a disaster.
Right. So like I agree with Bettero. Like I'm a layman when it comes to law, but hearing what I know and hearing the evidence, there's no way you can convict her on anything. And I have a hard time even thinking if they can't convict her on 1, how the fuck are you gonna try to convict her on 2?
So imagine this scenario, Tommy and Mike. If in our fantasy world, we could fly in the most impartial, greatest judge we've ever seen and put him behind the bench, or her behind the bench. Mark Bettero is the attorney for Karen Reed. He's going right to bench trial. He's skipping jury.
Of course. I agree with you.
A fair and impartial judge that isn't politically connected, he'd be throwing out all the evidence. All the taillight would be tossed. Karen Reed's blood alcohol level from her section 12, that would be tossed.
Imagine having the other guys.
It would be a not guilty so fast your head would spin on all the charges.
Yep.
Get the new one executed for Justin Root. You see that one? It's executed across the front of it.
Where you got it, Justin Root shirt there? All right. Oh, wow. How many people there now, Tommy? Like 10, 12?
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, 12.
That's cool, man. That's cool.
Good day for it.
Whitman is a small town.
Yeah. Hey, where was Brian LTL last night, Scott? Do you know where he was?
I think it was Raynham, Taunton area, a bridge over 495.
Okay.
That makes
I forgot
sense.
where he was. Yeah.
Well, yeah, everyone's going down the Cape. Tomorrow is probably the day to catch them on the way back down the Cape. You know how traffic is, right?
Well, there was a lot of traffic last night going to the Cape because it's a holiday weekend.
Oh, it's Columbus Day weekend. That's right. Yeah. That's right, man.
So I watched some of his live. They were getting tons of traffic going by.
That's good, man. I knew he was there. I was happy for him. Was good. Who was the surprise guest? Do you know?
I don't know. You know what's funny is
surprise.
I wasn't home and he had a 4:00 start, and I because I'm a mod on his channel, I got a notification.
Yeah.
I went into the chat real quick at like 4:40.
Yeah.
And there was like 40 people in there. Like, where the hell is Brian? The show hadn't started yet.
Yeah, they said they got lost.
So I put a question out in the chat. I go, hey, I'm a mod. Do you want me to contact Brian and see what's going on? And they're like, yeah. message him. What the hell is going on?
Well, that's cool. You had 40 people waiting for it, man. That's
And then,
nice.
so I DM'd Brian. I go, look, you got like 40 people in your chat, and your show was supposed to start 40 minutes ago. I don't know where you're at, but then I went back into his chat and I go, look, I DM'd him, and I'm getting ready to go out for dinner and go see a show. You people are on your own.
Good for you, man. Good for you.
But he came on right after that. He finally found the bridge. I guess they were driving around trying to find the bridge.
I heard.
I guess it's not an easy bridge to get to. And then just by coincidence, he went live like right after I dropped the jokes in the chat.
That's good. Yeah, I saw him go on because I was like, I logged on. I saw like 45 people waiting. I'm like, it was like 4:10 around there or whatever. I'm like, geez, what's going on, man? And then I logged back on later. He was going. He's like, oh, we finally made it. We finally made it. We found it,
guys.
All right.
I'm looking at Tommy's chat now. Dog's mom's like, how many channels do you mod for? I think it's 7.
Oh my God, really? Wow.
So, guys, you want to hear a story about that, Scott?
Yeah.
What's up?
So you see it from both sides, right? Imagine if we had like a set schedule for everybody so that the people that are watching us aren't getting it from 8 different directions up till 3 in the morning watching stuff, missing shows. What if we all got together and organized the schedule to make it better for our customers? We all got the same people, right? The same viewers across all the channels, and I think we were kind of abusing them. A 3 o'clock, show. Okay, it's gonna happen. But if Aussie took like the midnight to 3, she'd be a set thing, right? It wouldn't be like it. I just think that we can get more.
Did you hear Will at the Glare?
Yeah.
Will at the Glare is trying to do like a 24-hour marathon, kind of the same idea.
Yeah.
He wants to get like different creators like on a schedule where they just keep going.
Yeah.
Pass the baton to the next channel.
Exactly.
Awesome. Yeah. 24 hours. 24 hours of read. Oh yeah.
Imagine
speaking of that, don't we have like another 2020 coming up on the 18th?
Oh
yeah, I think so.
It's the Vanity Fair, isn't it?
No, that's the article in December, but there's another show, Dateline or 2020 is coming out on the 18th.
Dateline or 2020 is the second show coming, right? Do you know anything about that? Dateline.
It's supposed to be a Karen Reed one,
second part, right?
Yeah, Karen Reed, yeah.
Yeah.
And
They
Scott,
did one,
is there
right?
any rumors of Gretchen Boss doing mushrooms?
Dateline running there.
Okay, Vanity Fair's got one coming out in December too.
Yeah.
You gotta let Tommy finish. I can't hear you.
Yeah.
All right, man. So what's this thing I'm reading about someone doing mushrooms?
Wasn't me.
No, Gretchen Voss, I think it was Gretchen Voss did mushrooms with Kate Peter. Can you imagine that?
It's in text messages. That's crazy. That's fucking crazy, man.
As if Kate Peter isn't out of her mind enough. Can you imagine her on mushrooms?
Can you listen? I can't imagine sitting across from Kate Peter doing mushrooms. She'd be turned into a friggin', oh my God. Her face would morph into something else. Worse than what it is now.
The penguin on psychedelic drugs sounds scary to me.
Yeah, the penguin and Joker combined.
You guys are crazy, man. This is awesome. I like the idea of that 24-hour marathon.
Great idea.
Yeah.
And well, think about that. You ready? If there's 10 creators, everyone takes 2 hours. That's 20 hours right there.
Yeah, you're right.
That's an easy fill, right? We can bang out 2 hours.
Well, because you get Australia taking the overnight stuff. And I've heard Scott McGinnis has been up at 3 in the morning on the Aussie Insider.
He's practicing.
Jesus, Scott, man. I love it, man.
Well, I don't know what it is. Sometimes you meet somebody in your life and you can just have a conversation forever.
It just goes on. Yeah.
That's what Aussie Insider and I are like. We just keep going and going.
I mean, Scott, you were on for like 3, maybe 4 hours. Because when you were on, I fell asleep. I woke up and you're still on. I looked at the clock. It's like 3 in the morning. I'm like, this is something ain't right here. It's either me or Scott, but something ain't right.
No, I did one show and we were in like 8 hours.
That's
And
what
then
it
the last
was.
one went like 11 and a half.
Holy shit!
I went to sleep. I woke up. He's still on TV. I'm going, something ain't right. Did I sleep?
Holy shit!
That's
God, yeah.
crazy. I don't know what it is about her, but she can just keep me talking forever.
Well, she's asking good questions, right?
And it's
Yeah,
funny
big
that
points, yeah.
the people down under, they get it. Like we don't need to explain anything to them. They already get it. That's the beauty of that whole thing.
It's amazing how the free can read movement is like worldwide now. We got
I was just gonna say that.
Baker in Denmark. We got Dylan Davies and the UK. You got all the Aussie people. It's pretty wild.
I know. We gotta get some of these people back on, man. We get some more guests back on.
If I had a contact over in Ukraine, I'd send him a shirt.
Jesus.
How come there's nobody from the Ukraine in the free can read movement or from North Korea?
They're a little busy. They're a little busy right now. Yeah.
Boy, that'd be something. Get the North Korean Karen Reed people going.
What about
they
Colleen?
live in a friggin' hole? Them people, they get nothing. They have no internet.
What about Colleen O'Donnell calling Eddie Jung Kong Kim from North Korea?
Yeah,
I almost spit my drink out. I was like, what? Oh my God. She's a hoot, man. I tell you, she's a hoot. Anyways.
Yeah, she's crazy. Well, she has reason to be upset, though, obviously.
I know. She's been dealing with it for years, and finally there's like a platform or a voice where she can kind of get it out and be effective. And it did. And now it's getting worse for her. She's getting followed, like you talked about. People driving by. She's there alone. Weird shit. She's not so much there anymore. But still, imagine having those kind of people walk in all the time, filming you, renting you a ticket, telling you got to leave. Putting her equipment down. You can only have 6 pieces of equipment on your driveway.
Well, how many times has she been fined for the stupid dumpster?
I know.
It's ridiculous.
I know. And then you have John Conley with one in his backyard.
Yeah, well, if you're part of the county crew, you're all set.
Yeah. So he's up for re-election in April. We need somebody that's going to run against him and can. No one's really talking about it. So I've been talking about it for a couple of weeks. But someone's got to step up, put the name in the hat, and go
Has
for it.
Has Rita talked about ever running again?
I don't know. That's why I'm trying to put it out there. If she's listening, or if someone can talk to her.
Mike, the problem is you need to run as a ticket. You need to run as 2. Because a solo guy, and look, you're gonna get your hands tied and your knees taken off from underneath there. You need to go in with 2 people so you can at least have a unified front.
Gotcha.
These people, they do this. This is what they've been doing for a living. This is their career, dude. Try and friggin' screw the people that pay taxes. Yep.
People are in the chat telling me to run.
Yeah.
I don't know. Are you sure about that? Because I don't know, man. We're kind of crazy. Anyways.
I like that idea.
Yeah. So, man,
I don't know. Mike, are you kind of like the politician type out there shaking hands and
yes, I am.
Giving speeches?
Oh, yes, I am. I can give speeches. Let me tell you something. If Chris Albert can do it.
No kidding, right?
Right? If Chris Albert can do it, damn well I can do it.
Yeah, but did Chris Albert actually do any campaigning? No, all he needed was the townies to vote for him, and he was a shoo-in.
Right. That's right. I would do it the right way. I would go out there. I'd press the flesh. I would, because once I start something and I commit myself, I'm all in, So that's the way I roll. But I have to make the commitment, but
exactly.
I'd rather see somebody else do it, and I would get behind them. So I don't want to say anything, but if there's other people that are more qualified, then let's do it. Let's go, because I don't want to wait till March and we get till April. Let's just get this going and let John Conley know you know what? Maybe I won't run. 35 years has been a long run. I'm not saying you can't run, but let's put.
I mean, you know what a perfect example, Mike, is Rita Lombardi.
Exactly.
Rita Lombardi, in her previous life, successful woman in business.
Yep.
She was never involved in politics.
Nope.
Canton on its surface seemed to run fine.
That's right.
And then until all of a sudden something really goes wrong in town, and then all of a sudden the curtain is peeled back.
That's right.
And all of a sudden you see the corruption that's been there the whole time, but you never noticed it.
I know.
And then all of a sudden, here we are, and Rita is a leader and a public speaker and running for office. She never dreamed that in her whole life.
Like Dennis Sullivan, right? Is it Dennis Sullivan, right? Is that who they are? The ones that had the bleach bomb too? They spoke the other day.
Dennis and Sweeney. Dennis Sweeney.
Sweeney, I'm sorry. Dennis Sweeney. I mean,
who got bombed with the chemical balloons?
Yeah, in their garden. They got hit their garden.
Like even like Dennis Sweeney or his wife could run. I know they're not into the politics. Even what's his name? Sean, that stood up in front of the meeting and spoke.
The guy that drove up there because it was wrong. Yeah. The guy with the frig. Yeah.
There's a couple of names, man, that are out there. Just think about it. That's all. Just think about it.
Well, you think about it, right? You have people like Jen O'Donnell, Rita Lombardi, the Sweeneys, etc.
Yeah.
They're getting chemical bombs on their lawn,
right.
and Chief Helena Crashfitty could care less.
That's right.
But meanwhile, poor little Chris Albert gets a rubber ducky put in front of his store, and we have Buchanan fingerprinting said ducky, and you also have a Canton police detective hunting down Rich Schiffer.
I know. I know. That was crazy. That whole thing just blew my mind. How much money was spending on that, and how much money these police officers already make, and then all of a sudden they're spending more money surveilling people, going through trash, calling Prime, getting warrants for Prime and Amazon.
And all Jen O'Donnell wants is to log on to Zoom so she can watch a selectmen's meeting because they refuse to do it in person. That's all she asked.
And is it true that there was 2 people that called in that they lied about who they were?
Yeah, Kate and Twisted Tragedies. They both called in.
Okay, I wasn't sure. I couldn't.
Yeah. And I think that's a violation.
Kate Peter called in, and she used her alias was Aiden's 2 kids' names.
No way.
Yeah.
Wow. See, so as someone that lives in Canton, the Zoom thing is such a waste of time and energy because of things just like that. Maybe they should put their faces up on the screen so we know who they are, right?
They won't.
Well, I mean, to be fair, a little bit and fully open, when Aiden has called into the select board,
I know.
There was one time that he used her 2 kids' names that she lost to the state.
Oh, okay.
So that was Kate Peters' pushback using his 2 kids' names.
Tit for tat. I gotcha.
Doesn't she have isn't that a violation, Scott?
A violation? Oh, yes, because I know what Tommy's saying right now. Because Turtle Boy has a protective order against her.
Yeah.
That's kind of like third-hand harassment of Turtle Boy, so it could possibly be a violation of the restraining order that Aiden has upon her.
Oh, goodness. Oh, my God. What is this girl doing, man? Wow.
Well, I mean, if she wasn't connected with the corrupt, she would have been in jail 4 court appearances ago.
Yeah.
At least.
And how did she get into the queue? And Jen O'Donnell has got to show up at Mike Loughran's house and figure out why she can't dial in.
Right.
John.
Well, one thing they were doing to Jen, and she explained it the other night when she logs into Zoom.
Yeah.
She couldn't use her full name. She wasn't able to add it into her username or something.
Right.
So
and Loughran knows it's Jen, but he'll say, "Oh, whoever this Jen is, you have to, put your full name."
Yeah.
And I guess
Come back
Jen
again.
was getting frustrated at home because she wasn't able to put her full name in for some reason.
Wow.
But that was Lachlan just being an ass because he knows
Yep.
it's Jen.
Is it me or did he put some weight on? Lochran.
Wrestlers do that to you, bud.
It's hard to tell when he's on his laptop camera from home on Zoom.
All right. I didn't know if the camera gave me 15 pounds because it looks
Probably
like
does.
You know, I don't know, man. I'm like, is this guy stressing out or what? And like, you know, so I don't even know who the other guys are. Like, Chris doesn't talk so much. You have a court that doesn't say anything anymore.
Well, what's Chris gonna say?
And I don't know.
What about Kathleen?
Even a fool who is silent is thought to be wise until he speaks.
That's right.
But what about Kathleen? Isn't she on the board too?
No, Kathleen is on the police audit committee.
What's the lady on the board? Who's the lady on the board?
Trish.
Yes.
Trish Boyden.
Trish
Yeah.
the turncoat.
Trish Boyden.
Yeah, she wasn't what we thought she was, I guess.
Wow.
So, yep. That was weird. And Rita,
we can do better, Mike. The people can't need better representation. You know that.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely.
And not that they don't got representation, but I think they can do better. I think the people can do better.
Well, you got a guy that's been in there for 35 years. What has he learned in the last 35 years? What kind of changes he brought along? What kind of new ideas has he brought forward? Nothing really, right? 35 years.
Yeah, look, this is your end result, Mike. You're looking at it. This is what you've got.
But
Trish Boyden duped Rita.
Big time. Big
So
time, right?
I remember going to the meetings before the election, and before or after the meeting, I'd be talking to like Rita and Jen, and then Trish was there, and Rita's like, "We need to get some women on this board. We need to break through the wall of corruption." And Trish Boyden kind of played a chameleon because the minute she was elected, she just became one of them.
That's right. And I just thought it was that she's getting overpowered or, something was happening, but I've never heard her not vote against anything. It's 5-0.
Once or twice on meaningless votes, she's dissented. But other than that, she's just another rubber stamp gavel on that corrupt board.
All right. Okay. I was right then. It's bullshit.
Listen, there's a lot of beeps out here. In the small little town of Whitman, I'm surprised at the amount of beeps. Really.
How many people are still there? Still got quite a few?
Same amount, yeah.
What time is that going to? 2 o'clock?
Yes.
What time is it now? Oh, it's almost 2 now.
Yeah, it's almost
2 o'clock. So, and I got like 2% battery, so we got to head out to go charge this thing up.
All right, hey, I'm gonna head off. I'm gonna get off this.
Me too, Tommy.
All right, guys.
All right.
I initially wanted to call in about yesterday's court date, but this was a good time. We had a good talk.
Scott, there'll be more. Unfortunately, wait till KP actually gets her time in jail.
Well, we'll have you on again before. We'll have you on again before the hearings next week, and we'll figure everything out. Okay? And maybe you can make sure you can get over to Brookline and go to the Justin standout as well. Okay?
Yeah, definitely. I didn't know about that. Thanks for telling me.
Yeah, it's on. Are you on X or it's on Facebook? I'm sure you'll find it.
Yeah.
All right, people.
I'll check the page.
I'll post it on Facebook. I got a link to it. So.
All right, man. I will talk to everybody later. I'll talk to you, Tommy. I'll talk to you, Scott. Scott, thanks so much for coming on today, brother. Thanks for the chat. Thanks, everybody. Hit that subscribe and like button. Peace out.
Peace out.
Later, gentlemen. All right, guys. So there you have it. Two excellent people having loving can't read. Two excellent people we just got to hear from. It's been a great day. Standout has been absolutely phenomenal. A lot of beeps out here today. A lot of people kind of getting the Karen Reed vibe. I'm not sure when we're going to be on next. I know we're going to be on Tuesday, definitely. I'm not sure about tomorrow. I don't know if there might be something going on tomorrow. I'm not sure. But if not, we'll definitely catch you guys on Tuesday. I want to thank everybody for being here. Please like and subscribe. If you want to become a member, please become a member. The other channel, Tom CPU, that's going to be active again. So heads up, trial date's coming. That's the outside channel. So you'll be seeing some more activity on that too. So everyone, thank you all for being here. Thank you everyone who's donated, and thank you everyone that's hit that like and the thumbs up. All that helps. Please, 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 before we go, please thank the mod. If the mods were not here, I wouldn't be here, and neither would you guys. So the mods are the reason that we're all here hanging out. And they're fabulous, fabulous, wonderful, awesome people. So thank you, mods. You're all the best. Love you all. And nice. Got mono. It's hard to find that stuff. Everything's freaking braid. Love it, love it, love it. All right, guys. I love you all. And don't be strangers. We'll see you soon.